Hidden Gems, Episode 74, Christmas Spectacular 2025. We're back.
We are back. I feel like we have to like set the number almost.
It's true.
Wait, hold on. We have to do the next.
Oh yeah, you screwed it up already, Jason.
You screwed it up.
Welcome to Hidden Gems, a board game podcast where we review unusual, forgotten, and underappreciated board games. We're your hosts. My name is Chris.
I'm Jason.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Cameron. Thanks for listening to our show.
Very nice. How quickly we forget, Jason.
Yeah, all that's staying in, man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, maybe we do relaunch. You know, you made me think of like a comic book thing that like every so often like they'll redo.
Yeah.
It's like
Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 1.
It's a whole new universe.
For the fourth time.
New universe of Superman, of Hidden Gems.
Hidden Gems,
Episode 0.
1.
What was our first episode?
Hidden Gems Reborn. What did we review in our first episode? Do y'all remember?
Spectaculum.
Was it?
Wildlife Safari.
Wildlife Safari.
Oh, man.
And Via Appia. And
was it not Spectaculum?
What's the 10 game? The game
Curios.
of the 10. Curios.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that's right.
yes.
Spectaculum was like the third or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
We started
man.
off strong.
We did.
Bill wasn't even in our
Good
game
games.
group at that time.
Gosh, wasn't I? Probably not.
Or maybe you had just...
I might have just joined. No, because we talked about the fact that you were going to start one.
We weren't there in our
okay.
relationship yet,
Yeah,
making
exactly.
him a podcast host.
We weren't sure about you yet. We were probably talking about cutting you from the game group.
True. I saw those meetings.
Well, I feel like we have to address the white elephant in the room.
Oh, man. Nice. Yeah.
You mean why we haven't posted an episode since February?
Yep. Probably.
It's been a while. We've been on a break. Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. It is awesome to be back. Clearly, we've been gone for a while. I would say that this is multifactorial, and I did tell Talia, my wife, that I was not going to blame her entirely on this because it's not her fault, obviously. I think I can only speak for myself, but maybe we were kind of looking for a break.
Right.
I think we were all just kind of burned out at the beginning of the year.
We'd gone through a couple rounds of like, all right, what are we doing about the podcast? So
We were having some technical issues, which hopefully we're not having right now, which was also just kind of...
Everything looks good.
Everything looks good. Camera check. Yeah, like we were just having...
surprisingly easy fix.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason.
We just turned it off and turned it back on again. Everything's fine.
Yeah, so there were things, but basically, my wife Talia, a lot of our longtime listeners that are on the Discord already know this, but she was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, which was totally unexpected. Just honestly did not see it coming. It just came out of nowhere because she's pretty young, very conscious about her health, and started to have some abnormality in her breast when it got biopsied, breast cancer. Just totally shocking. So obviously that took the wind out of the sails and led to some serious life adjustments for us, going through chemotherapy and all the things. And I won't go on and on about it. And like I said, that's not the main thing. I think that was just kind of like
It was like, well, this does it.
that was the final straw that I was like, okay, we just need to kind of step away for a while, or at least me, and maybe we're gone, maybe we're not gone. I don't know. I needed to just step away.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think we knew whether we were coming back until a couple weeks ago, right? But I'm glad we're here.
Yeah,
honestly.
Same.
I'm glad Talia's doing better. So
She is. I will say, just to throw out some words of appreciation to the people on our Discord who it's still active. It's not as active as it was, obviously, because we're not putting out content, but people still chime in there. And there are still people, even within the last few months, that like join our Discord.
Yeah.
Because they've recently discovered our podcast, and then
why is
discovered
it
that
crickets
we're
here?
not releasing anymore. But just a lot of really cool comments from people being like, I don't listen to podcasts anymore because I just liked Hidden Gems, which is very flattering.
Yeah.
But when you read stuff like that over and over again, you start to think, man, maybe we were doing
a mistake?
Kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe we were making a pretty positive impact, especially in this niche part of the community.
Right. Not taking money from anybody else to talk about their games.
Right.
which is unusual. I will say it's kind of funny in conversations with my wife, because I'm newly retired. So
Bill wants to play every day.
I do. I was like, I knock on the door and ask Talia, hey, can Chris come out and play? Like all the time. But I mean, I marvel at all of you guys with, Jason and Cameron with families that are setting aside the time to put in playing the games and, editing them and having the podcast was kind of, I'm sure, overwhelming
Honestly,
for as long as it was. And Jason had a new job and, Cameron with little ones. I mean, there
kids,
I think the reset was probably so good on so many levels for you guys, and really probably for me too. I could hang out with Ken for the last year or so.
Bill has plenty of people to play games with. Let's say Bill's getting around. He's rotating through all the game groups in Raleigh. We know what's going on.
It's true. I found the fun people. So
I wasn't sure if Bill was going to come back, honestly. I thought we had just been replaced.
Never. This isn't a room where it happens, man.
I don't have to play all those old crusty games anymore.
Bill did flatter me the other day in a text message. He said that this game room was a national treasure, which I very much appreciate.
That's absolutely true.
It's probably loaded with a bunch of crap, but it's cool crap.
It's your crap.
It's my crap.
We should get it on like a tour somewhere.
So we should probably mention okay, so we're back on a Christmas episode. What does this mean for the future of your podcast feeds, and when can you expect more episodes and all that? And
we don't
to be honest, we're still figuring that out.
We commit to nothing.
Yeah. I think where we're at and what we've realized is we do kind of miss doing this show. We do kind of miss having a reason to get together and play games in sort of an organized way and anticipate what we might share with you guys. So the answer is we don't know. We aren't going to commit to a release schedule. We would say if you're subscribed to the podcast, stay subscribed, because we believe we're going to keep putting out episodes, but it may not be on a regular basis. And that's because life keeps happening. And we're not doing this for money and fame and popularity. We're doing it because we like doing it. So we're going to try to keep putting out stuff, but it'll be kind of whatever we want to talk about, and it'll be kind of whenever we want to release another episode. And we're going to make changes to the format of the show moving forward. We don't know precisely what that's going to look like, but there will be changes that make essentially production easier on us. That may be shorter. It may be, certainly less of the sort of formal game review stuff,
the review
themed
part.
Episodes maybe, and
we'll think maybe more like
we're all gonna play the same game 3 times.
More like Hidden Gems After Dark.
Yes,
a little more like that.
That'd be a good way to
not entirely
compare it.
that unstructured, but a little closer to that.
Yeah.
For those of you who have been on the Patreon in the past and we're listening to
which it was never called After Dark.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yes,
that was
I
Bill's
actually
thing.
couldn't remember what it was called.
Backstage.
Backstage. That's what it was. Backstage. Yeah, we were releasing the Backstage episodes for our Patreon subscribers. A little less structure to them, a little more freeform.
But just
I don't think it'll
fun.
be quite to that degree.
No.
But a little
PG-13. Go ahead.
It was never PG-13, Bill.
I don't know. Pushed it a couple of times.
Occasionally.
But we're still figuring that out. But what we're saying is stay tuned. That's the bottom line. We want to keep doing the show. We want to do some version of this. We're not totally sure what that is exactly going to look like yet. But we miss making the show for you guys, and we want to keep doing it in some form.
It's kind of like we're playing the games anyway.
We're
right?
back, but
Right.
it's going to be asterisk, a little bit different.
Yeah. It'll organically evolve over the next few months.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to being back in this room more.
Totally agree.
The question that I have for you guys is the question that so many people enjoy us asking on this show, which is, what have you been up to lately?
I love it.
What kind of new nerd stuff do you have to share
New
with us?
nerd may or may not be gaming related. Should I start or should somebody else start?
Yeah, sure.
Lately plus 8 months, so you have a long area to pick from.
Yeah, you
be
have
prepared for
2 or
3 hours
3,
of banter.
Chris. Bill, 2 or 3.
Oh, man.
So I just recently read a book that I want to share with you guys. So you guys know how I love horror and scary, spooky stories and stuff, but Christmas doesn't really go with horror, spooky stories, or so I thought.
Krampus.
Okay. So there's this book here called Foregathered on Christmas Eve. It's a really small book, really short.
Oh, wow.
It's actually
That's like 10 pages.
It's like 65, 70 pages. It would fit in a stocking if you have a friend who really likes spooky stuff for Christmas. But here's the thing. I didn't know this. I actually learned this when I was reading this book. It used to be customary and tradition for people to tell scary stories during Christmas time. Did you all know this?
I didn't know that.
Absolutely not.
So there are 2 reasons for this, 2 main reasons. So one is that, in the winter and Christmas time, the nights are really long and it's very cold, right? Not to mention you have the winter solstice, which historically a lot of people have felt that that's like when the veil between the spirit world and the natural world kind of like becomes thin. So it was actually very customary in like the 1800s, early 1900s for people to tell ghost stories and spooky tales in and around Christmas. Actually, a well-known example of this is actually A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because of
all
Marley.
ghosts, right?
Yeah.
It's a ghost story.
He's a ghost, yeah.
Part of the reason that Marley comes back is because of that winter solstice idea, right? And I'll also mention, because I think it's interesting, the reason why it's fallen out of favor and it's not thought of anymore is because of the First and Second World Wars. People begin to gravitate away from macabre stuff because of how much of an impact it had. And so Christmas became more holly jolly and things like that, and kind of drifted away from like these scary stories on Christmas. But it used to be very customary. So this book, Foregathered on Christmas Eve, takes place in the late 1800s, and it's a story about, I use in quotation marks, 4 friends who get together every Christmas to tell each other their newest, like, best spooky story, basically. And the reason I use friends in quotation marks is that they seem friendly with each other, but there's a lot of like ribbing and like they're constantly criticizing each other's stories about
like
not
us.
being scary enough. Yeah. And
It's like you and Bill.
yeah, like me, exactly.
Like us
Bill.
four.
Yeah. Captures our relationship perfectly. But yeah, no, they have a weird dynamic and they're very weird personalities. Okay. And as the book goes on, you learn more and more about them, but they each share a little short story, tell kind of a spooky tale. And I really enjoyed it. I won't go into much more detail after it. I think if you're into this kind of thing, I really do sincerely mean that I think it could be an interesting gift for somebody that likes Halloween type stuff for Christmas, you know, put it in the stocking. I could see myself reading it every couple of years just as something fun to do. Because I like scary stories. So, and it's got a twist ending. Like I said, it phases in and out between these 4 people interacting and telling their story. And then it goes like into the story, and then it goes back to the 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And then it goes to the next story, and then it goes back to the 4 of them. And there's some things going on there that's kind of interesting. So
cool.
Foregathered on Christmas Eve. Pretty cool book.
Cool.
I'd like to borrow it if I can, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds cool.
It is cool.
Well, I feel like I have to give like a life update first before I just jump into some video game or something. Not because there's anything super dramatic, but just because it's been a long time. I was trying to think through this. It feels like our family life has changed pretty significantly since the spring. And I was trying to pinpoint why that was. And I mean, it really comes down to our kids all starting new schools.
Yeah.
So our oldest started high school. Our middle, my daughter, started middle school. And our youngest is still in elementary school. But they all moved schools because our oldest is going to a charter school, and all the high schools in North Carolina are traditional schedule, whereas we were on like a year-round schedule before, which might be foreign to some people. But it was nice. It was how we like traveled in October and traveled in January and all this stuff. But when he moved to traditional, we didn't want to have half our kids in one system and half the kids in the other system, so we moved them all to new schools. So they all go to their own individual school. Every school starts at a different time, and they're all like all over Raleigh. So it's like I spend an hour and 15 minutes in the car every morning, like getting kids to school. My wife spends like an hour plus in the evening getting everybody home from school.
Wow. Whatever happened to school buses?
Well, yeah, I mean, our kids ride the school bus now too, which is actually great.
I used to spend an hour and a half on the school bus every day.
Yeah. So did I. But I feel like that's like, it's had more of an impact on us than we thought it would. And they're just busier. Our daughter's doing year-round swim.
They get so busy, man.
Yeah, she's doing year-round swim, which she's really good at, and I'm glad that she's found something that she really enjoys. Gavin did cross-country for the first time in high school, which is awesome because I did that when I was in high school, and it was fun to see him experience the pain. But it just means they're doing stuff in the evenings, right? And so we're out doing stuff. Jude's doing basketball now, and so it's like we just have a lot more going on. And so it's been good, and it's been like a lot of really sweet time with our kids. They're in a really awesome stage of life, but it's just busy. We're always taking somebody somewhere, and Gavin has like 3 or 4 hours of homework every night. So our kids are just up. They're just awake all the time. They're awake till like 10 o'clock at night. And Chris, I know you like your kids never go to bed, but
no, they don't.
Like our kids, I'm
I use a hands-off parenting approach.
I'm used to our kids like going to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and now they're up till like 10:30, 11. Sometimes Gavin goes to bed after we do because he's like just still up doing his homework. And I love that our kids like love to be around us. But I told somebody this the other day, like it feels like they've discovered sarcasm for the first time, and because they've discovered it, it's like the only tool in the tool belt.
Right.
So everything is sarcasm and ribbing each other for everything, which is awesome. And I'm sure I'll miss it at some point. But every once in a while, it's just like, oh my gosh, just stop.
Can you guys just speak nicely to each other?
Shut up for a minute.
So that's one aspect. The other aspect would be that I took a different job back in June, which was really pretty unexpected. I didn't like get let go or anything. It was more an opportunity came out of the blue. Our company had been going through a bunch of phases and buyouts and things, and then one of our head of product who like moved on to a different place called me up, was like, hey, I think you'd be a good fit. You should come check this out. It's a startup. I was like, oh no. I don't know if I'm in startup phase. But I was feeling like I was getting a little stale with the stuff that I was doing. It was like, maybe this is a good opportunity. And so I went for it. Prayed about it a lot, and kind of felt like that was where God was leading. Went for it. And I mean, it has been, for the most part, what I feel like is a good decision. But
the first couple months were pretty stressed out.
We're pretty brutal.
That's to be expected.
It is a lot more responsibility and a little more stressful, but I feel like it was the right call. Like, it's easy to get stale in what you're doing, and it's not to feel like you're just comfortable and you can continue to do, I won't say the bare minimum because I'm never doing the bare minimum, but like, don't have to like work to 100% of your capacity all the time. And so it's been good. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's where life has been. We missed a whole national park trip, but I won't go into that now. Maybe I'll save that for a future episode. But we did miss an entire trip back in April. Went to Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So we'll fill in some details on that later. Yeah. I don't know.
What kind of nerd stuff do you want to tell us about?
All right.
Give the people what they want.
So I have one.
We won't stop at this.
I know what you're going to say.
Stuff.
Just say it.
Yeah.
Just tell me what I'm missing.
Do I get to participate in this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I know what you're going to talk about.
I don't know if you do, actually.
Dang it.
Because I kind of figured you were going to talk about it.
I'm not. So you can waste your turn on it if you would like to.
No. I feel like we'll come back to it at some point.
Okay.
I want to talk about UFO 50.
Okay. Yeah, I know about this.
Because I picked this up like right around the time that I switched jobs, and it was like just something that was keeping me alive throughout this time. And honestly, I credit this to Dylan.
Dylan St. Clair.
Yeah. He identified this a long time ago. So UFO 50, the premise is that there's this like 1980s 8-bit video game, 16-bit video game company that started up and lasted for like 10 years and developed 50 different games over this time period. And they're like, you can see the progression. The early ones are like really
Atari,
blocky, like early Nintendo games, right? And like the later ones are more sophisticated. But it's basically just you're dusting off this old console that you found in a closet, and there's 50 dusty cartridges on the screen, and you just click on a cartridge and it dusts it off and it puts it in the machine, and then you just start playing it, and you have no idea what it does or like what game it is. And you can go in like chronological order or alphabetical order or whatever. So honestly, like, I have not made it through all 50 of them yet because I'm kind of taking my time, but it is phenomenal. Just the way that they blend new styles of gaming, modern styles of gaming into the 8-bit world and make it feel seamless. Like these games really came out on like the NES system at some point.
Yeah.
Is really awesome. And it covers the whole gamut of stuff. There's a tower defense game. There's point and click adventures. There's like a deck builder. There's like a legit deck builder. And these aren't just throwaway games. You would think, okay, well, there's 50 games. They're probably half-baked, right? And they are shorter than like an average game, but they're well thought through and like quality games.
Wow.
They're not all winners, right? But I was surprised by how many of them were like, this is an awesome game. There's puzzle games on there. There's like 4X games. There's a lot of like, honestly, like board game inspired stuff.
Yeah.
Like deck building. There's like a disc flicking game, dexterity game on there. Where you have these like giant discs and they each have powers and you're like swimming into each other. There's a roguelike where you're this submarine going around like exploring stuff. I won't go into all of them obviously because it's kind of like Christmas morning, right? Every time you put a new cartridge in, it's like,
that's fun.
Ooh, what's this one going to be?
Oh, man.
Keeps it fresh.
I forgot you told me about this like very briefly, I don't know, months ago, and I was just so busy. I hadn't played video games in a really long time.
It's awesome.
I need to go back to this one.
Is there an overall story that all those games tie into, do you think? Or is it just...
There's
just
like a minimal amount of like a story that goes around them. Like you'll play like like Super Mario 1, and then there's Super Mario 2 that's like later on in the line, and you can see the progression from like one game to the next. I will talk about one in particular just because it's a good example. It's like a puzzle platformer game where basically you start the game, you play the entire game, and you have 100 lives. That's it, to make it the whole way through the game, and it's platforming. But basically, you're this guy, and you can run and you can jump, and that's it. But you're going through all these platforms, and you have 3 moves that you can do. One is that you throw yourself forward and fly across the screen horizontally, and then you stick into a wall. But you die. So you fly across the room, and you stick into the wall, and then you die, but you stay there. So when you come back, that guy is still there, and you can step on him as a platform. The other move you can do is you can turn yourself into a stone, which is like, okay, well, now you can reach a higher location. And the other one is that you can blow yourself up and destroy the terrain around you. So it's this puzzle of, well, you got 100 lives. You got to figure out how to make it through the full set of levels.
You're building the level that you have to
sacrificing yourself without running out of lives.
That's
And that's one of the ones that has a sequel. And the sequel takes that concept and like expands it out to a whole new thing. I don't know. It's just really cool how they did it.
That sounds horrible because you can get to the last level. You need 2 lives to finish, and that means you have to go like how far back to get those lives back?
Well, that's the thing. Like the games aren't that long, right?
Oh, okay.
So they're not super long. But yeah,
sounds fun.
very impressive.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
You should check it out. That's all I got for now.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Okay, I guess that's me.
It's you.
Let's see, going all the way back to February, where I was abandoned by this group I used to go to almost 2 times, 3 times a week. So I was out in the streets and was picked up by Ken. Shout out to Ken and Micah and Tony and Tom.
Yeah.
All your new friends?
Yeah, all my new friends.
They're way cooler than we
Better
are.
friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Played a lot of games there. I'll mention one of them, I guess. We played Cyclades. Yeah, it was really fun. And Ken's superpower in life is the ability to find like cheap games out on the street, and then also sell them for a profit.
Yes.
So somehow he found the legendary version of Cyclades with like the metal coins and all the extra figures and stuff like that. Somebody was selling like for $50 in Apex or something like that. It was actually a girlfriend was selling her boyfriend stuff, so I don't know how all that worked out in the end. Anyway, Ken ended up with it. So I liked it so much that I ended up buying it from him because Ken has this very strict box size to fun ratio that he very
Yes,
much
he does. Yes.
sticks to.
He has a whole rubric of how he determines what he keeps and what he gets rid of.
Not like Chris at all.
No, not at all.
Chris
to the
is a-
ceiling, baby. There's an empty spot on this floor. Looks like a spot for a pile of games.
Right. There's the build a shelf people and there's a one in, one out people. I found out also this week that I'm a one in, one out person from my wife. So we'll talk about that later. Exactly.
Dude, I laughed out loud when I read that text thread from you, by the way. It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Bill's like Googling smugglers, build tunnel under house. I think you were in complete panic mode.
Well, it started with Bill saying, "Guys, my wife and I had the talk this week." We're like, "Oh God, Bill." He's like, "One in, one out."
I cried a little bit in my chair as we were having it. Really? Do we have to do that? But I'll admit, it
I
was
can change, I promise.
exactly. They far exceeded Cameron. Cameron built us some shelves, by the way. They were totally awesome shelves, and they are to capacity and then some. And now it's built into the carpet, and so it was a fair ask of her.
That was my favorite thing about that conversation was that you let it slip that they're called in your home the Cameron shelves. You guys probably don't know this, but Bill was my first customer at Sturdy Bones Woodworking.
Yes.
He was like, "Oh, you're starting a woodworking company? I need some shelves for my games." We did it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Apparently, you didn't make them big enough.
I didn't. It sounds like I might get a follow-up order
Dropped
soon.
the ball.
Well, no, well, it's a half wall, so he did as good as he could. But anyway, Cyclades. Cyclades it appeals to me for a bunch of different levels because my daughter, Sarah, and kind of the age that you're talking about, by the way, Jason, really got into Greek mythology. So anyway, this is Cyclades is a group of islands in the south of Greece, and it's set back in Greek mythological times. And the game is what you mostly feel when you see it is a area controlled dudes on a map thing. Everybody gets armies. You've got ships and stuff like that, and you're kind of island hopping. And there's places to place your cities out, and you're like thinking you're going to be taking over people. Well, the way that you do that is currying favor to the gods. So everybody is bidding for things that these gods will let you do. For instance, Ares, the god of war, will allow you to move your armies. Nobody else does. So in general, at the very beginning, only the person who gets Ares is going to be able to fight somebody else. I will say one quick thing about winning. The way to win this game is by building metropolises, and that's the biggest city. You can build 4 types of cities, and there's 4 ways to get a metropolis. There's 4 city types that can be built by the other gods, like Zeus has one, Athena has one, or whatever. But once you build 4 of them, you can combine them all together, pull them off the map, and drop a metropolis. That's one. Zeus has philosophers. You can get 4 of those, drop one. You can take it over from somebody else, or you get heroes in it. So you can have somebody like Hercules or Perseus or all these other people on your teams that they will have special powers at the bottom to get it. So I mention that because in this game, you will do a lot of stuff like having battles over the story arc of the game, because there's a very defined beginning, middle, and end. But when you get to the end, people will have figured out various ways to end it pretty quickly. Anyway, I'm getting too far into the rules there, but
It's hard. It's hard not to.
it is hard not to. But the bidding part to the gods, as far as currying their favor, is probably pretty cool. And I think about you, Chris, quite often when we played it, because I think it's a mechanism that you would like. The other things on the board are there's monsters. Sorry. There's
Bill has gone back to his old ways of smacking everything
excited.
within arm's length. He hasn't managed to smack the pop filter yet, but that's coming
Yeah,
next.
exactly. Hold your ears now.
If you hear a boom,
There's a deck of cards of monsters that are pretty cool. Like it has Medusa. I mean, it's a bunch of different monsters that have
It sounds
great
very
super-
thematic.
super
You're
thematic.
trying to rope me in over here, Bill?
Oh, it is super thematic, and the heroes are awesome. They help you move around. But anyway, I was smitten with it, and so that's why I bought it from him.
this is the kind of game that was made for Bill Arney. If it's got ridiculously massive, chunky plastic miniatures with monster powers and cool card abilities, it's 100% going to land
It
with
absolutely
Bill.
did.
That's awesome.
The thing that I will call out about it is you will be executing on your strategy for a long period of time, and the game will end when somebody has figured out how to do like 2 or even 3 metropolises right at the end. So you have to be super aware of what everybody else is doing, what they have, and like, okay, can they do that, snake bite at the end? So it's just,
I like that
good
in
or
the game.
bad.
It forces you to pay attention to what
attention to
everybody
others.
else is doing.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're playing a game where you're at least not kind of watching what your opponents are doing, I question,
Yeah,
That's
some of
actually
that
one
design.
thing that I've heard that's like the difference between whether something is strategic or not.
Yeah.
Right? If you're doing something and it doesn't require you to pay any attention to like what your opponents are doing,
Right.
and you're not engaged in strategy.
right?
That was this person I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to, and they were like, no, that is the key component. Are you aware of what your opponents are up to?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to describe it, because the tactical part of it, when you're looking at the map and how you move your armies around, is what you feel when you're looking at the map, and it's kind of what you're engaged with most of the time. However, so many other things that can happen with the cards that you pull in that it's easy to let those go, and that's a gaming fault that I have. When I'm showing these shiny baubles over here, I will focus on them and not the real focus of the game,
Right.
how to win at the end,
Yeah.
sorts of things.
Well, it's
So-
also the thing of like, it's not in terms of paying attention to other people. It's not even so much of just looking at like, what are they doing, but like, what could they do?
Yeah.
Right. And
Or what might they take that I might need?
right.
Things like that.
And especially after you played it 2 or 3 times, it's also the what monster could come out now that would wreck my world
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Cool. Sounds
awesome.
Sounds exciting.
All right, Cameron.
Yes.
Wood talk.
So what have I been up to since February? I mean, obviously I still am a father of 2 young kids, but 2 young children that I can communicate with now. 'Cause my daughter talks, and that's been really exciting and fun to see her development.
A blessing and a curse sometimes.
Yeah, right now it's kind of just a blessing because she's the cutest 2-year-old that I've ever known. So pretty into Nora right now, so yeah, that's been good. I had kind of a weird work year, I guess. I started off with kind of a totally different strategy than I had done the previous 2 years to try to like earn a little bit more this year, where I had this opportunity come up to jump back kind of 1 foot into the tech world. And I spent the first 6 months of the year being like a fractional CTO for a company that I made some connections with. And that ended up kind of petering out in like July, and through God's amazing wisdom and grace, like the same week that job kind of went away, 2 contracts that I had out for like a really long time, like quotes out there, both closed. One for an interior design company and one for a family that's building their own custom home. And so the work from those 2 contracts has kept me busy like through the end of the year, just straight up woodworking and making cabinets and all sorts of fun stuff.
That's awesome.
Not making YouTube videos, but on that front, like I've released 2 videos this year, and my channel size has doubled in terms of subscribers. Started out the year with 10,000 subscribers. Now I'm up to like 23,600. And it's because I made a video about my office renovation. I like completely gutted. Well, it was already gutted, but
it was studs.
Completely built out an office with walls and drywall and flooring and everything in the top of my barn. And that video is almost at 500,000 views, which has been incredible and,
awesome.
and super helpful and encouraging. That's led to, I'm working on a video right now for, I guess technically my second sponsor, but kind of my first real sponsor. I won't say who it is. I won't say what it's about, because you got to subscribe to the channel and see what my video is going to be about. But so that's been really fun. As far as like stuff that I've been into that people would care about, I will say this. I've watched several TV series. I'm really a sucker for like a mini series.
Same. It's doable.
Yeah, like you don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna get into. I mean, am I gonna want to watch 7 seasons
I gotta
of this?
watch the 20 episodes in season 2.
Right.
And
so I like these like six episode things that are like done. Like the whole series is done in 6 episodes.
I'm watching one right now, actually. I wonder if it's the same one. I bet it's not.
Probably
We'll
not. Probably not. So one that I enjoyed that's a quick one was it's called The Gentleman.
Definitely not.
The high level version of it is, it's kind of like, I would call it like Breaking Bad, but like for the UK.
Okay.
It's like,
I thought this was a movie. I feel like there's a movie called that.
I don't know, but I watched a 6 episode series, and it actually includes I can't remember the guy's name, but the same bad guy drug dealer guy, the Los Pollos Hermanos guy.
Yeah.
He's also
Gus.
the big
Gus.
bad.
Gus Fring.
Yeah, he's also the big bad guy in this.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe or maybe not the big bad guy.
He
totally.
always plays
Spoiler
bad
alert.
guys.
But it's funny because it's like the main character it's a kind of a Breaking Bad story. I won't get into it more than that because I don't want to ruin it. But it was a fun show.
I'll have to check that out.
The Gentleman. It's like I said, low stakes, right? 6 episodes. Another one that I have enjoyed. I'm curious where the 3rd season will go, but House of David.
Oh yeah.
So as a Bible believing Christian, I'm super interested when mainstream networks come out with stuff about Bible stories. And this show is like really well done.
Yeah.
Like from a visual standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint. And I sat and was like reading 1st and 2nd Samuel while watching the story, because I was like questioning like the plot. And it's like right on down the scriptures, like some of the stuff that they're like pulling out. I'm like, shoot, like I had missed that detail.
It does. I was just gonna say, it does surprise me that more hasn't been done with David if you read about his life in the Old Testament, because he does just some incredible stuff. I mean, everybody obviously thinks about like Goliath, but have you heard like David's mighty men and like the incredible battles they win at like unreal odds, hiding in caves, cutting, cloth off of Saul's.
Yeah. And I think that stuff is what
right next to him.
I think that stuff is what the next season is meant to be.
That'll be pretty cool.
About. Yeah. So I've read that there's only going to be 3 seasons, and I was a little disappointed about that because I think there's like a whole lot more that they could do with it, because David he's a very complex biblical figure.
Oh,
like
he has a terrible fall.
Right. Yeah. Everyone like knows the Goliath stuff and the good stuff and the man after God's own heart stuff. They don't remember all the kind of not great stuff that David did, during his life, and the complex stuff morally, and the kind of bad stuff that he did, and the downstream effects that had on his children and
Oh yeah,
stuff
it's
like
got to
that.
be a part of it.
Absolutely.
I
Can't
know,
leave that part out.
and that's where I was kind of like, well, shoot, 3 seasons, like they're kind of cutting the story short because the kind of juicy stuff all happens like later in David's life. So, but that was a good show. I think that I would mention I think it's worth the watch. I'm pleased that it was like that close to the scriptures. The other thing I was gonna say is in terms of just like video gaming, like I've kind of been wanting to get back into video gaming. I pulled up Hollow Knight because you guys were talking about the other game that I thought you were going to talk about.
Are we going there?
We'll save it. We'll save it.
We can save it because
Silk
it's on my
Song, baby.
because Silk Song is on my Christmas list.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't had time. I've been like, I'm not going
All
to
right, we'll
buy
give you
it
time
because
to
I
play it.
haven't had time to play any video games.
I finished it. Did you finish it yet? I have rolled Act 3 credits.
Okay.
I have.
Nice.
99% completion.
So I try to like get back into my skills because you guys were talking about Silk Song. I was like, well, I'll just like pick up where I left off in Hollow Knight and figured out that like I actually don't know what else
Hollow
to do.
Knight's a good warm up.
I'm at like 92% completion on Hollow Knight. So I did start playing a different game. I just started it over, Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, that's totally your speed.
It's so nice. We originally started
Idle
playing
farming.
it. What's that?
It's like an idle farming sim, right?
It is a farming
Yeah,
sim with
yeah.
some cave exploration.
Yeah, a
and-
little bit of that. So we started playing it when we went on our honeymoon, which is a year after we got married because of the pandemic.
You're playing video games on your
Stardew
honeymoon?
Valley on your honeymoon.
Okay, we did. We played Stardew Valley on our honeymoon because we went to Maui, which is several time zones away from North Carolina, and we kept waking up at like 4 a.m. So we were like, we can't get it. We're only going to be here like 6 nights. Like we can't like move ourselves all the way over to the like Hawaii time zone schedule. So we're just gonna wake up at 4 and play video games until it's time for breakfast. So it was fun. But yeah, it brought back some nice memories and it's just nice, chill, fun, low
That's awesome.
stakes.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, well, we're not going around again, but
No.
y'all all talk longer than me, so I'm going to tell one more thing.
Do it.
I set the bar too low. All right. I want to talk about one more thing that I did over our long extended break that I think I probably actually talked about in our last episode before the break. So I went to a concert.
Oh yeah.
First
that's right.
concert I've been to in a long time. I haven't been to a concert in a while. I'm getting older, you know? I just don't, the concert scene is kind of, and even when I was walking in with Bagley, I was like, what am I doing? You know? We looked older, although there were a lot of people our age there because their style of music very much just kind of captures like our generation, I feel like, which is why I like them. But I got to see the Warning in concert. They came to Raleigh at this venue we have here called the Ritz. It's kind of this, you know, it's not small, but it's small. It's not like a stadium. You
Yeah,
know?
It's good size. It's good size for a smaller show.
Yeah, yeah. And we were on the floor. We were about, there's not rows. It's like general, it's just standing, you know. But I would say if you were to line us up, we were probably 6 rows, quote unquote, back from the stage.
Nice.
And they just blew the roof off of that place. Man, they're just so good,
That's
man.
awesome.
They're almost all I listen to right now. I just feel like their music is really good. I was gonna say fresh. It is fresh, but I think the reason I kind of like it's kind of familiar. They sound like sometimes they sound like 80s rock anthems. You know, sometimes they sound like more like 90s and early aughts, like more heavier rock or even metal sometimes, depending
Right.
on the song. But they're just one of the few bands. Linkin Park is another one of my all-time favorites, where I can listen to their albums first song to the last song and not skip any songs. They're just all good. They're all at least good. Some are really good. Their most recent album, Keep Me Fed, is incredible in my opinion. But if you have a chance to see them, I would recommend it because they are getting more known. They actually played halftime show at the Arizona Cardinals football game a few weeks ago, and they're really getting popular in Mexico, which is where they're from. I think like Glamour magazine down in Mexico, they're like their Women of the Year or whatever. Yeah. So I feel like they're like right on the cusp of like really taking off. Okay. And so when you have a chance to see them in like a small venue like we did,
That's always
it was
cool.
just really cool, you know? So if they come back touring through the States, Knox, one of my kids, has told me already wants to go. So I'm going to take him.
Nice.
Yeah. Warning, still awesome. They still rock. Check them out.
I had like every intention of trying to go to that show, and then it was like 2 weeks into the new job. I was just like, I just can't. But I'm glad y'all got to go.
Oh, man, it was
a good show.
I was glad I did. I had fun. Definitely going to go to another one.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, It is a Christmas episode.
It is.
And
Surprise, by the way.
Like all of our episodes, we have a cocktail.
Oh, awesome.
And Bill brought us a cocktail tonight.
I did bring a cocktail today. I wish I could remember the name.
He's had too many.
Bill's a couple deep right now.
I
We've
am
been
a
in here
couple
for a
deep.
while.
Yeah, well, it was funny because this recipe took a lot of cranberries, and so I stole a bag from my wife, and she came down and said, well, I'm using those cranberries tomorrow to make stuff, so you need to go to the grocery store and get some. And there's like no cranberries in North Carolina, so I am absolutely in the doghouse. This is a cranberry juice margarita with...
So the price of this cocktail was your,
No, it's
you know,
gonna be
your
high.
dignity and
I might lose a
marital
whole Cameron
bliss.
shelf or something. I don't know what it's the penalty's going to be. But
Another
anyway,
text message. We had the talk.
exactly. Oh yeah, this is going to be brutal. But anyway, it's got tequila, the orange liqueur. What am I? Cointreau.
Cointreau.
Yeah, Cointreau. It's got blended cranberries. It's got orange zest.
Yes, very pulpy.
Very pulpy. A little bit of salt. A little bit of sugar. Took some cranberries, infused them with maple syrup, let them sit for an hour, dried them out, and then rolled them in sugar and dropped them in as the garnishes. So that's it.
They're kind of almost candied.
Yeah, exactly.
Candied cranberries.
Exactly.
Lovely.
It was very lovely.
It's
Thank
good.
you, Bill.
Awesome. And made a picture, so we're like having more than one.
Yeah, and I
Since
wasn't
it's
sure
been a
you were
while.
bringing you. So
Oh, yeah.
we got a long ways to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. So that makes her out.
I mean, it is Thursday night, guys. We only have to go to work tomorrow.
That's right.
So, like every Christmas episode, am I the MC tonight?
You are the
I
MC.
feel like the MC.
You're doing a good job.
You always are, man.
Do it.
Okay, cool. So, we are going to do our Christmas trivia.
Of course.
Chris is prepared.
We can't not. Changes have been made.
That's right.
The trivia remains.
Yeah, we cut the gift exchange this year. Maybe not a permanent change, but we cut it this year. But the trivia has to stay.
I can't give up the opportunity to embarrass Jason in the public arena.
Wait.
Year
I feel
after
like,
year
I
after
feel like the
year.
last time we did this, I crushed it.
Oh, did you? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I am traditionally awful at this. So.
So, as we prepare to do that, Jason has poured us his cocktail. Do you want to tell us about what this is?
It's quite nice.
Sure. It's called gingerbread and probably tastes fairly similar.
Yeah.
But it's dark rum, lemon, and then it's got allspice dram,
Yep.
molasses,
Oh, okay.
and
Can taste the molasses.
what's the third one? Ginger syrup. So ginger syrup, molasses, and allspice dram. And
got
then
a
a
little
little bit
bite
of club
to it.
soda on top. A little bit of nutmeg. Yeah, the bite is it's probably the lemon.
Lemon and the ginger.
Yeah.
The
The
dram.
ginger's like a fiery ginger syrup or something.
Yeah, cool.
So, but yeah,
Nice.
it's a good Christmassy one.
Thanks, Jason. So, do we remember how to do this?
I think
We
we,
only
do.
do
I'll
it
go
once
through the
per
rules
year.
again.
Chris will walk us through it.
Just to remind you, Bill needs reminders.
I absolutely.
Bill gets a little bit out of control during these things, and we have to rein him in.
Don't negative number me, Chris.
Bill's a competitive fellow. He likes to win, so we got to rein it in, Bill. We're going to set some guidelines.
I don't know how you can still find unique trivia questions about Christmas
I'm
at this
pretty
point.
excited about this one. I don't think I've done this before. I'll feel really embarrassed if I have, but I'm pretty sure this is a new idea. Okay? So what I'm going to be asking you all about this time is I am going to be giving you a line or lines from a Christmas movie.
Oh,
And you
gosh.
have to tell me what movie it's from.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay?
And we buzz in by saying our name.
Yes, and the way that you buzz in, you're going to say answer.
Oh, okay.
I am not at this moment in time, Bill, applying negative points. But if you buzz in and say answer and then you sit there and think for a minute, I'm going to negative point you.
Okay. That's fair.
So don't say answer just to be first and then try to think of the answer to the question, is basically what I'm saying. All right? So I think I have 13 movies here spanning
All right.
all different time periods.
Okay.
Okay.
These are all movies that I have watched, some more than others, and all movies for the most part that I like. Okay?
Cue the theme music.
Cue the theme music,
I don't
Cameron.
think I know 13 Christmas movies.
It was a little harder than I thought. I mean, by process of elimination, if you probably haven't heard one that you know is pretty famous, you can probably expect it to be coming. But I've got some weird ones on here. All right, and I've got a few different lines. So I'm going to start with the ones that I think are harder, and then work my way to the easier, more obvious ones. Are you ready? Question 1. I am upstairs, dummy.
Answer. Home Alone.
That is correct.
Oh, wow. Good
Yep.
one.
Yep.
That line always shocks me every time he does it. I'm like, oh my gosh. He says it to his mom.
Yeah.
She says,
Oh,
go.
I was thinking that was the
Talking to the
The wet
sticky
bandits.
bandits.
The wet bandits.
No.
guys.
The wet bandits.
It's at the very beginning of the movie. He's upstairs, but she's telling him to go up into the attic, which is why they leave him, because he's up there by himself. And she says, "Go upstairs." And he's like, "I am upstairs, dummy." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" But just a memorable line for me for some reason. Clearly, Jason remembers it. All right, number 2. Oh wait, I gotta score your point, Jason. Here I was talking crap about you.
Yeah, see?
Jason with the early lead. This is a long one. You can buzz in whenever you think you know it. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight.
Answer. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
That's correct.
Wow.
Bill with a fast answer.
That was real fast.
You can
Well
say
done.
all of it if you'd
The
like.
next
you gotta read
line
the whole
would've
thing now.
rhymed,
Or it
and
could
I-
be that his head wasn't screwed on
Yeah.
just right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that
His heart was 3 sizes too small.
2 sizes too
Two
small.
sizes.
Yeah.
I
think
think you have
give
to
him
read
enough
the other
credit.
quotes from Home Alone, too.
Okay, so yeah, I wish I had started with this one with Home Alone. I was trying. I really didn't think anybody would get the first one. The second one, which is the one I should have started with, was "Buzz Your Girlfriend Woof,"
Oh,
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
which I
forgot
think
that.
is hilarious. And then I made my family disappear, which is obvious. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I went and touched you with a 39.5-foot pole. Mm-hmm. All right, so one for Bill. Number 3. Welcome to the party, pal.
Answer. Die Hard.
Correct.
Man.
I knew that one. Bill was too fast.
Yeah.
It is a Christmas movie, as we've
I
discussed
started
on here
watching it the
before.
other night.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Still good. Alan Rickman. Rest in peace.
If you
Great
had
movie.
He's,
if you had
Snape.
wanted the most
Snape.
if you had wanted the most obscure line that you could have made reference you could have made to Die Hard, it would have been the thing about making fists with your toes.
Oh, when he's walking on that broken glass.
Yeah.
No,
No,
the guy
before-
on the
in the
airplane
airport.
tells him that,
Yeah.
that the way to like get grounded in a new place is to
Oh, okay, right,
walk
right.
around barefoot on the
I would've
carpet
got
making
that.
fists with your toes.
Yeah.
Bill knows his Die Hard.
Oh
do know
yeah,
my Die Hard.
apparently.
All right, number 4. I triple dog dare ya.
Answer. Oh, yeah.
Your doctor. This is exactly what I
know
was
it,
talking
but I
about.
know
No,
it.
no, no.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to know it when you buzz in. All right. I
Triple dog dare
triple dog dare ya.
Of course, you know, everybody knows
think,
this one.
I think I know, but I'm going to wait for the second quote.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
there's 2 quotes?
There's 2 quotes. I'll
Okay.
let you have a chance
Well,
to
no,
get
but
in.
I mean, I know the movie. I just
Oh,
can't
he
think of the
doesn't
name
get
of
to
it.
get back in.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe if Jason and Cameron don't know
No.
it. All right. You'll shoot your eye out.
Answer.
Oh.
Christmas Story.
That's right.
That's what I thought.
Story.
I just wasn't
I just couldn't remember
100%.
the name of it. Yeah, putting your tongue on the pole.
Oh, yeah. This.
Classic.
So I didn't mention before, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the last thing I watch every night before I go to bed on Christmas Eve.
Oh wow. Okay.
When I'm wrapping the kids' presents for Christmas morning, I watch A Christmas Story. And like clockwork, it takes me the entire movie. I start it, and I just finish it as the movie's wrapping because we have 4
Amazing.
kids. Cameron's still not on the board yet, but I think he's got some coming up where he's going to know that other people won't. Bill with 1 because he got docked a point, which I took great delight in. And Jason has 2.
This game's under protest.
Okay, this is a deep cut. Ho, 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 Vern. Merry Christmas. And then another person says, I thought you said this Vern was a friend of yours.
Answer. Ernest's Christmas. Ernest loves Christmas. Christmas. Ernest.
Close enough.
Okay.
Christmas Ernest.
Ernest saves Christmas.
Ernest saves Christmas. There you go.
Yes. The deep cut, one of my favorites. If you don't know who Vern is,
Yeah,
you're not going to know
you
the
get it.
answer. But he always talks about Vern. He talks to Vern in like the first person. Like, well, Vern is like the point of view of the camera, and he's talking to the camera as if like you're Vern, I guess. Like seeing through his eyes, basically. Have y'all seen that movie?
It's been a long time.
I don't think I have, actually.
Oh,
I know what it is, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
great one. All right. Gonna have to be fast here. Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar.
Answer.
Yeah.
Elf.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sit on a throne of lies.
Sit on a throne of lies.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I
That's
don't
a good
know
one.
that movie very well.
What?
Wow, that was fast.
You gotta remedy that this year.
I thought about doing Have you seen these toilets? They're ginormous. Which is also funny.
That one I might have taken a little longer.
All right. Number 7. Well, this is one Christmas shepherd who's going to keep his trusty blanket with him.
Answer. Peanuts Christmas.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie
Christmas.
Brown. Charlie Brown.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just
I
about
gotta
to
say
buzz
that.
in.
Yeah.
Linus, right?
Yeah.
All right, number 8. You want the moon?
Answer. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do too. I
Good one.
do.
I was literally watching it last night.
I knew you were going to know it. This is one of the ones that because you like these old black and white.
I love it. I watch it every year.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite traditions that my wife has introduced into our family. I had never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
What do you want,
before,
Mary? Do you want the
before
moon?
I'd never seen it before we were married.
Pull it down. The moonbeams and come out of your fingers and your toes.
Yeah, I really didn't want to have to do every time a bell rings an angel gets his wings because
Yeah.
I thought you would know it, but
Yeah, I had never seen it before we got married, and we watch it every year now, and I love it.
Yeah,
It's like my favorite
so
Christmas
good.
movie, I think.
And Amazon Prime has a color version of it. Can't stand it.
oh, that wouldn't be right.
No, I think they even have like a 16:9 version, and I'm like, no, you got to watch it in the original like recorded format.
Yeah.
The history of the movie is like fascinating. I feel like every year,
Frank
I
Capra
see-
was one of the greatest directors.
I
of
see
all
like
time.
some article that's like talking about the history of It's a Wonderful Life, but I read something last year, and I don't remember the details, but you should look it up. It's like,
Yeah. Good one. All right, number 9. Is this you? Well, it says here no photo with the department store Santa last year. No letter to Santa? And you made your sister put out the milk and cookies. Sounds to me like this is your crucial year. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
Answer.
Yes.
Polar Express.
Polar Express. Yes. Tom Hanks. Great delivery. That's a cool part. That's when he's first trying.
Get on.
He comes out of the house and
You
he's
know
trying to
what's
decide if
really
he's gonna
funny?
get on.
When you were reading that, my mind went to You've Got Mail, which is also
Oh,
Tom
Chris-
Hanks.
well,
it's
that's
not. I think there's a Christmas like moment in the movie, but it's not a Christmas movie. But it's just funny that it was also a Tom Hanks. I think you were performing like Tom Hanks.
I was trying
You
to.
were doing a Tom Hanks
Yeah,
impression.
kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. That's kind of how you're
It's pretty good.
Don't stroke Chris.
Oh, point deducted. All right. So I'm going to try to do this one kind of how this person says it too. What's that sound? Do you hear it? It's a funny squeaky sound. And then somebody else says, you couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
Wow, got nothing.
Answer: Jingle All the
This
Way.
is a classic scene. No,
I don't
Jingle
know
All
it
the
then.
Way.
answer
Yeah,
National Lampoon.
it is. Do you know what scene this is?
I don't, but it just sounds like National Lampoon.
It's when the
I've seen
squirrel
movie,
jumps
but-
out of the tree. So, like, his old aunt or something, she can't hear a lick. The whole movie, she can't hear anything. And they're all sitting there, and she's like, do you hear that sound? And there's, like, this little squeaky noise coming from the tree. And then the squirrel jumps out and, like, starts jumping on people. And people are fainting, and it's just a whole thing. But it's a great movie. Hilarious.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. It's a good one. Number 11. What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
Answer. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is lyrics to a song.
All right. Cameron 1, Bill 4, Jason 4.
What
Bill
are we tied?
5.
I had a commanding lead.
Tied up. All
demand-
right.
I demand
we got
a
two
recount.
left here. This is a deep cut. See if one of y'all know this. I'll be impressed. I'll actually even give you a hint. These are lyrics to a song. This is an older movie. Snow, 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 snow. It won't be long before we'll all be there with snow. I want to wash my hands, my face, and hair with snow.
Answer.
Yeah.
White Christmas.
It is White Christmas.
Also, I've never seen it before, but I know that it exists, and you talked about snow a lot.
We did talk about snow. Yeah, that's Bing Crosby. This is like their probably the biggest number in the movie.
Okay.
And I know it because my aunt and my mom's really liked it.
Okay.
It's an older one. Yeah, that's White Christmas. All right, Jason, you got the lead. 1 to go. I wear the chain I forged in life.
Answer. Christmas Carol.
That is correct.
Man, we need a tiebreaker now.
I
Can't
know.
go
I'm
down
gonna
like
have to
this.
come up with one on the fly.
Can't,
Let me
can't
think.
go down like this.
Let me think. I got to come up with a tiebreaker question.
You can use your phone.
We'll cut this out. Let me think for a minute.
Or you could just restore my point.
No. I will not.
It's okay. You don't.
No. I'm going to cut all this out. We need a tiebreaker.
It's Christmas. We could both tie.
Okay, because I know both of y'all watch this. This is not I'm giving you a line. I'm going to ask you a question about a movie and see who knows the answer. This is not easy.
Are we naming the movie, or it's a question about a movie?
It's a question about a movie, one of the ones we just talked about, and we'll see you know it. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
No.
You've seen it, right?
Yes, but it's not one of my most watched.
Not one of your most watched.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Keep going.
Go for
Okay.
it. Go for it.
When the Grinch is stealing stuff out of the Who houses, he wakes up a little girl.
Answer. Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. You didn't even let me ask the question.
I would have known that one, Bill.
I could have said something like, he woke up Cindy Lou Who, but who was Cindy Lou Who's father? Or something. And then you would just lose immediately.
There was nothing else to
Sorry, Bill.
ask about those things.
Good
All
job,
right,
Bill.
You
I
win.
guess.
You win.
Congrats, Bill.
Even
I
despite...
had no chance. No, it's totally fine. My ability to recall facts that I know is my worst character trait. I'm not looking forward to when I'm older than I am right now, because ask my wife. I'm so bad at remembering things.
All right, well, that was fun. Chime in on the Discord and tell us how you did. Let us know if you beat Bill. Were you faster than Bill? You're definitely faster than Cameron.
Definitely.
Thank you for putting it together, Chris. That was fun.
That was fun.
Don't know what I'm going to do next year.
We
Yeah.
have a long time to think about.
We'll figure it out.
You have to just start doing like ancient Christmas like traditions or something.
That's right.
Well, that wraps up our Christmas trivia.
We're going to talk about some games now?
We should talk about games. Let's get into the games.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why is everybody looking at me?
No, we
I
were
don't
just
know.
like
I don't know.
all playing
That's
the
just
like
normally like when our little
the doot
intermission is.
yeah songs in our heads.
All right, so before we get into formal game reviews, I'll just make a couple quick comments. I'm going to hold people to this. So one of the things we're trying to do, this episode is an exception because it's a special episode. It's a holiday episode. These are just long at baseline, and we're going to continue to do so because they're special and they're fun. But one thing we are trying to do is we're trying to lessen the run time on our episodes. Not that we didn't enjoy doing them, but you know, when you have an hour and a half to 2 hour long episode, that usually means you've got like 4 hours of footage that nobody wants to listen to 4 hours. So, you know, we edit pretty heavily. We cut out a lot of stuff to make the listening experience more enjoyable.
Because Chris just rambles and rambles.
I
and
ramble and
rambles
ramble. Bill sniffs in the microphone, knocks everything around. Jason falls asleep in his chair and knocks into the microphone. You know, things happen. So we cut that out, try to shorten it. So basically, we're just trying to condense things down so that everything just doesn't take as long, so that it decreases our amount of post-recording work in the production booth, as it were.
Post-production. We call that post-production.
Post-production, that's what I meant. So we're cutting out some things. I know people love the flavor text, you know, but we're gonna cut that out because we all just started sounding like Irish.
Yeah, I feel like it was getting a little
pirates.
stale anyway. Like you kind of run out of ideas.
It was basically just David Attenborough, like every time.
Yeah.
We were
I
pretty
love that
creative at
part.
the beginning, but
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm with you, Bill. It's kind of sad to let it go, but
In letter 29.
Oh man, I have to find another song that sounds like pirates.
I think we should keep that part and just get rid of the review part.
well, you know, we could have some like soft music, themed music in the background, like when we're going through the rules or something. We can talk about it. But that's another thing, is that our rules explanations, while not complete, especially on the longer, more complex games, I feel like are pretty thorough because we want to give you a good idea about how the game plays so that you understand what we're talking about when we're reviewing it. But we're going to try to streamline that so that the rules are just the main things you need to know to be able to play the game. And then maybe some of the details we'll fill out through our discussion. And we're also going to try to make our discussions a little more pointed and just really, you know, hit the high points. And we're piling on Bill.
I think what we're saying is that the goal of when we're talking about these games is less to give you a complete breakdown of how to understand what the game is and how to play it and what our deep strategic like points are, and more just like maybe pique your interest and give you a high level feeling about what our experience was with it, whether it was generally positive or negative.
Like the main couple of reasons why we really like it, if we do, and maybe one of the things we don't like.
Sure.
Wrap it up with some final thoughts. We're going to keep that, but basically, we're just trying to shorten it. And I know that a lot of people really enjoyed our long-form interviews because they said, they're really thoughtful and informative, and we appreciate that. But
We'll continue to be thoughtful, or we'll try.
but something has to go. So we just, it's either that or we just don't do the podcast anymore. You know what I mean? So choices had to be made.
Well, and we're also, the other thing is that we're not coming to these reviews suggesting that we're any kind of like authorities on the game. Like I think we would fairly say in previous reviews where we would have said, look, we've played this at different player counts and at multiple times and all this stuff. Because the reality is that when you guys play games, an individual play of any given game is a minimum an hour usually, unless it's some type of filler game. And when you consider playing a game that's hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 times, that's an incredible amount of time for show prep, right?
And coordinating schedules.
And coordinating
everything else.
schedules and all that kind of
Became
stuff.
burdensome.
So we ended up having 4 entire game nights devoted just to show prep for a single episode. And that was one of the things that we really had to put into question when we started going, okay, well, we're going to do this again. Like, what's it really going to be like? And it's going to have to be like, well, we're going to talk about these games even if you just only played it once.
Yeah, some of us may have played it 3 or 4 times. Some of us may have played it 1 time.
And
We're
we
still
want
going
to
to talk
fully
about it.
acknowledge that might influence your, I don't know, our credibility on how much weight you would put on what we say, and that's fine.
That's fine,
But
yeah.
but at this point, we feel like we've played enough games and we've reviewed enough games that we have a pretty good sense of what our general perspective is on a given game after at least one play. And one of the things that Chris has talked about frequently over the course of this podcast is when I play a game, I have an idea of whether or not I need to play it again. And it's usually the sense of like you're thinking about, different strategies you would take next time or whatever. And that is a key indicator of the quality of the game or whatever. So that's kind of the approach we're going to take. We may have played some of these games that we're going to talk about in the future multiple times. We're just not guaranteeing that anymore.
And what makes it easier is, like, if we think we need to play a game again, we'll play it again. But trying to fit it into a schedule of like, well, this was the game that we had lined up for this episode because it's part of the theme, because it's a Reiner Knizia game for Reiner Knizia episode 17. Without that, like, structured format anymore, we can just be like, all right, well, we'll punt that game. We'll talk about it later,
Yeah, right.
2 months from now when we do get a chance to play it again.
Right.
And we'll have more thoughts on it, right?
And in the end, it also, I think, will help us recover a little bit of the joy of gaming, where it's just like, hey, we have an opportunity to get a game night on the books. We're going to play whatever the heck we want to play.
Yeah.
And that we had lost that to a degree, and we're trying to figure out how to reclaim that as well.
So I have an awesome idea. I'm thinking about a podcast called Retired Guys Game Night. So if you guys, any retired guys out there, reach out to me.
I'm telling you, if you're
Spin-off. It's our first
if you're
spin-off.
moving to the Raleigh-Durham area and you're looking for somebody to play games with,
I'm here.
Bill Arney, anytime, anywhere, any game, any day of the week.
I mean, you
feel
know
like there
that
should
I
be
play
an
the
app
crap
for
games that Chris laid out on the table. I will come play whatever you want to play.
He's looking for a break, people. He doesn't want to play this dreck that we're reviewing.
I do think it's important to be clear, though, that like we are still hidden gems, and this does not mean that we've like given up trying to find unique, old, forgotten.
Great point.
What's the? I don't even know. I should know the slogan by now.
The hotness.
No, I'm saying like, what's the slogan of the show?
Oh yeah, it's
Underappreciated.
Unusual, forgotten, and
forgotten,
underappreciated.
Yeah, there you go. See,
That is the kind of stuff that we play, and that's
It is.
the kind of thing.
We're
Like,
gluttons
we're
for
still
punishment.
working through Chris's mostly unplayed game collection.
It's true. I need to figure out if I want to keep it or not.
But we will talk about some newer games because sometimes it's fun to play newer games. Mm-hmm. But we have not given up. We haven't sold out to the hotness. We'll still be talking about dusty old stuff that's probably terrible.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
All right.
In light of all that context and preface,
It's a good segue into our
let's
first
get into
review.
these games. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to keep this part because it's fun. Ladder 29, published in 2017 by Green Couch Games. At the time of this recording, does anyone want to guess?
Oh man, I've been like trying to like sort through stuff and figure out like what I want my actual collection to be. It's somewhere in like the 7,000 to 8,000s.
You're close.
6,000.
I was going to say 3 to 4.
6,923.
Wow.
Ladder
way
29.
high. Wow.
6,923. Designers, Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle. This is a design team. You've probably heard of some of their other designs. Fleet, Peep Mott's Wasteland Express Delivery Service, a roll and write called Three Sisters.
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try it. I actually have it right there.
Of course,
Not
you
played
have
it yet.
Next time.
Next time. French Quarter. And then a game we reviewed on here on another Christmas episode, Holly Jolly. You remember that piece of crap? Sorry, Ben and Matt. Didn't like that one. Well, I like this one, though. We'll see.
Was that the one where you were like picking the ornaments?
Yes.
Off the
Presents under the
like
tree.
a pyramid of cards. And
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Terrible. All right. Very brief rule summary for Ladder 29. Ladder 29 is a card shedding game or a ladder climbing game like Tichu. The deck, 4 suits, 1 to 15 with some special cards. Very quickly, if you don't know what ladder climbing means, basically you play a combination of cards, whether it be a straight or a pair, and then you have to play a pair or a straight that's of a higher value. Same number of cards, goes around and around, everybody passes. Whoever played last catches it, and then they lead the next trick. That's ladder climbing. The trick to this game, and the thing I really want to emphasize and what makes it interesting, is that in ladder climbing you're trying to go out first, and that's true in this game, but what makes Ladder 29 unique is that everybody playing at the table, every hand has an own personal objective card that will tell you how many points you will earn if you go out first, if you go out second, or if you go out third, whatever. Some of these cards are high point value. Some of them are lower point valued. But the higher point value cards, all of them really, but the really high ones especially, impose like a penalty on you. So for example, like some of the highest ones are like, you can only lead with singles. You can't lead with pairs or runs or anything, which is a hard restriction. But if you go out first, you'll score a ton of points. Whereas some of the other ones where the restriction is not as bad, like pairs must have red cards in them or something like that, aren't worth quite as many. Okay, so basically that's the game. Is you're drafting these objective cards. You have to follow that objective. You're trying to go out and score those points. It's worth noting. Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say, if you go out last, you score 0. And that's important. That you can't take a really high value card and be like, well, 4th place is still worth if you go out last.
Of those cards, there's always a start player card, which is
yes.
powerful. So yes, that you can choose that card, and it is the lowest one on the table. So you can choose to be the start player, but it's
And
first
there's no
player.
restriction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no
actually
restrictions
a
on-
positive.
Yeah,
Being the start player is a good thing, and it's the only card that lets you do something not restrictive. But like Bill said, it's the lowest points.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting decision.
And we should also clarify, you're getting one of those objective cards each hand.
Correct.
Each round.
So every
it's
time
not
you-
a once per game, it's once every hand.
Yeah. Every time you get new cards, there'll be one more objective card than the number of players. In reverse victory point order, you draft your objective, leaving one on the table. And you do that round after round until somebody hits 29 points. And then at that point, that person is the winner.
You pass cards in this one.
You do. You pass 3 cards to your neighbor, like kind of like Tichu. And then there are a few special cards that we might talk about in the review, kind of like Tichu. Like there's a 21, which is like the dragon, a high card, things like that. But I think the main thing to really focus on are these objective cards. That's kind of the meat, right? So that's very generally how you play Ladder 29.
Sort of, kinda.
Sort of, kinda. So since I was talking about the objective cards, what do you guys think about that part?
Yeah, I love that part. I think it's a unique twist on the teach you ladder climbing. Haha, get it? Yeah, it's a unique decision point, right? And I also like that it goes in reverse turn order to draft, right? So the people who are behind are going to get the better choice. So if you come out to an early lead, that's awesome, but you're going to get last pick, right? So you get to pick between 2 cards.
It's a reasonable use of catch-up mechanism. I usually don't like that, but it seems right.
I agree. Yeah, I mean I appreciate the restrictions on the cards because they're pretty varied, and then sometimes it really creates a kind of fear in your heart when you happen to be in the lead and you know you're going to have a choice of 2 cards out there, and both of those cards can absolutely screw you. So it's a fun game to try to navigate and fuzzy logic your way through.
Yeah, the thing that I thought was so unique about it is the objective cards are the limitation. I was thinking of them as like limitation cards. It's kind of like picking your like what problem do I want to have, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
And that turns it into kind of a lesser of two evils type of thing. Which one of these things do I think I could pull off? Because
you see your hand. You know
correct.
what cards you have.
I found in some cases that there were cards that I had the option to choose that would be like, oh, well, based on what I'm holding, that kind of doesn't really affect me. And I can still potentially get, 8 points or 12 points or something.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I felt like the objective cards made the game feel like fresh, because every hand, every round, my mind is now thinking in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just keeps it kind of fun, like, okay, what am I trying to do this round? How am I going to play differently this round? And the card you take, obviously, you want to use the cards in your hand to try to make sure you go out early and first, but depending on what other people have may influence even how you play. Right? Like, if I know Bill can't play, has a restriction on how he can play pairs, maybe that will make me play pairs.
Right.
Because then maybe Bill won't be able to follow me.
Yep.
Right? And so there's a little extra layer of strategy there as well.
Yeah. The other thing to note that I don't know if you mentioned this is that, like, whatever objective card you take, yes, we said that, like, the sort of the more difficult objectives are higher valued points, but each card does have this, like, strata of, like, points that you get based on what order you go out in.
Right.
And so that comes into your decision about what to take as well, because you're like, well, I'm probably not going to go out first, but even if I go out in second, I'm going to get more points with this one than I would with the other one.
It's still
or
good.
Something like
but
that.
But not without risk, because if you go out last,
right.
you're goose
still
egging.
0.
Yeah.
Like that time I went out last, like 4 hands in a row. Yeah.
What I found really wild, and I guess in Shedder games, this is true across all of them, but having the lead is so important.
So important.
And so in that first round, getting that lead, if you're looking at your hand and you're thinking, I'm not sure if I'm going to go out at all, giving up the lead at the very beginning is so hard to do, and it is sometimes catastrophic when you do. So, I think I could probably make this, but when you hand the lead to somebody else, that might shed half their hand in that first round, and you're hosed for the rest of the time. So it was a very interesting decision saying to not take the first player card every time. So
the first player card was such a brilliant design choice, because every time you take it, it's like a double-edged sword, because people grab it often, a lot of times early, but you're always like 6 points, if I go out first, but like it could be the difference between you getting 6 and 0, right? Like,
yeah.
Just not having to deal with the restrictions and having the lead to start can let you lay down that huge combination that you might not ever otherwise be able to play.
Right. Those low cards or whatever it is, yeah.
But it punishes you with the points, right? Because the 15 point can only lead with singles card is so enticing. But man, it can bust you.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you didn't like about Ladder 29?
I mean, to me, it's a little simple. I didn't like that it didn't give me more choices of combinations. Like, you can't put a full house down. You can't put longer things.
It's a little limited in the combinations from Teach You.
Yeah. And I can see why they did it, because they want to give you a framework to work in a game like that. Again, I love having a partner when you do these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And so whenever you're both having to live with this, I mean, I could see, trying to do mental things, or maybe you both have a restriction, or your partner chooses restrictions that you have to live with, or something like that. I would have loved something like that. I mean, as a 3-player game, I think it's great. And even, I mean, it's still good, but I mean, that was just one of the things when I'm thinking about playing that game, especially when I'm sitting with 4 people. It's like, let's play something with a partner when I'm playing something like this.
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts too. It was like, I think of the other similar, like, ladder climbing style games that I've played, you play with a partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can play, I guess, with or without a partner, right?
No.
Is that doesn't have partners at all? It doesn't have partners at all.
You can play it 3-player though.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can play a 3-player. But yeah, I don't know. There is something about, like, it's not fair to do this to these types of games that we tend to teach you, like, up beside it. And like I said, Teacher's so great that it just isn't fair to do.
Yeah.
But there is something about the like collaboration unspoken collaboration and the signals and the conventions and stuff like that of playing with a partner a game like this, that you do miss it, I think.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. That was one thing that came to my mind too, and I think maybe one of the things that's probably in the back of your head with Teach You, the thing that's nice about Teach You is that if your hand sucks, you still have purpose.
Yes.
Even if I can just win that one trick and give the lead back to my partner, I'm contributing. In this game, if your hand sucks, you're just toast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But in Teach You, you can have a trash hand but still be useful. In this game, if you just get bad cards, you're kind of like, it's rough. It's
Hope
rough
for the next
sledding.
round. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add to that. I think, kind of going along with the Teach You theme, I think the card passing mechanism in this game, like, it's always 3 cards. It's always to your neighbor on your left, right?
Per the rules.
Which is a little less. It's a little less dynamic than in Teach You, right? Where you're thinking about, okay, well, I need to know how to pass stuff both left and right to my opponents and a card to my partner. Right? It's a minor complaint, honestly, but even the fact that it's like always the same direction, it's always to the left. You're basically just giving your garbage cards to the person to your left, right? And then you're hoping that the garbage cards of the person to your right are like something that helps you.
Give me a low straight.
I actually found that to be somewhat irritating. Like, at least with Teach You, the way the card passing works, you're able to split up your junk that you're giving away to other people, or you're giving a good card to your partner, but you're able to split it up. Whereas in this game, I found several circumstances where I was like, well, I'm kind of passing
a low straight,
straight here, because I don't want to break up my larger straight.
Yeah, they don't have to be 5 cards.
So like, that's one of the things in Teach You that you're always like looking out for, is you're trying to make sure you don't accidentally pass like a giant perfect key to a big straight to your opponent. But in this game, you're like, well, I'm basically just gonna hand them a 2, 3, 4 just right out of the gate.
Yeah. All right. Oh, go ahead, Bill.
No. Well, I'll say one last thing. I kind of like even though I felt like lots of times I was breaking up something I really wanted to keep, the choices in, do I keep my low cards knowing pretty well that the person who's going to pass me low cards, it'll give me doubles or fill out of straights or stuff like that, because that worked out well for me quite a lot if I just got rid of my middle cards and just banked on getting the low cards.
The low stuff, yeah.
So, yeah, it's an interesting strategy.
Well, Bill, you want to kick us off for your final thoughts on Ladder 29? He's not happy about being first.
No,
we're all going to judge you.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. To me, this is a filler game. It is meant for, 3 or 4 people waiting for somebody to come over or whatever kind of thing. I like the fact that the cards didn't make it feel like it was, I don't know, sort of a too random of an impact on the card play, and you had visibility of what the cards were out there that you might get when you were starting to pass your cards. So at least you had an idea of what you were building towards, and then you also know what order you were going to get. So to me, it lays the groundwork for you to kind of develop a strategy as you're playing with it. So I liked all of that. To me, it is kind of simple. It doesn't rank up there with Teach You. There's a bunch of other card games that I probably would like better, and I'm waffling between a 3 and a 4. However, because this is, I'm kind of can I find a place where I could play this kind of thing? I'm going to give it a 4 just because it's kind of fun. I liked it. I liked climbing the ladder. There was a lot of lead changes, I guess, in our ladders. Which, you always kind of have a little bit of a hope that you can get there, because
totally the Hail Mary win is possible in this
exactly, because there's a 0 score for the leader, so you could be in last place and
if you take that super hard 15-point card and hit it, you can go from last to first.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, there's a lot of things going for it, and especially in that filler category, because you can play a whole game in 20 minutes, maybe, or something like that. So. Yeah, I mean, a 4 is fair. So
I give it that. Cameron?
Cool. Yeah, there were a lot of things that I did enjoy about this game. One of them that we didn't even mention is runtime. So it's just 29 points. Like the first person to 29 points wins the game. And so the way that the point values are structured, it kind of gets you there in 5-6 rounds, something like
Not
that.
even maybe. Yeah.
And so, unlike games like Teach You, which can go on for a really, really long time because you have hundreds of, plus and minus points. I did like the fact that it did kind of fit into the time slot that maybe you would want for a filler game if you don't have a ton of time or whatever. So I appreciated that. In terms of, I don't know, the ranking, it definitely doesn't hit like 5 territory for me, because that would be like I'm looking forward to the next time that I get to play this game. Mm-hmm. It's very hard because like I didn't dislike it at all, but I don't find myself like itching to play it again, which means like a 3 for me. But for some reason that feels kind of harsh. I am going to land on a 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But that's kind of only because I know that there are other trick taking and ladder climbing type games that I would rather play if I have the opportunity to play a card game. Because I really don't have that many criticisms for it.
Nice. I guess maybe we should, since it's been a year, review our rating scale really quickly for you that might be new. Welcome. We've been gone a year. We're pretty flaky. Sorry. We might not be back again. Just enjoy what you get. If we give a game a 1, that means we don't like it, and we don't like it because we feel like it has some sort of design flaw that holds the game back from being playable. 2 is a bad game. It doesn't have any design flaws or design issues. We just don't like it. We don't find it to be fun. 3 is our meh game. It's not bad, but it doesn't excite us, doesn't do a lot for us. It's just okay. If other people were playing it, we might join in, but it's not something we're excited about. 4, good game. We like it, might own it, enjoy it, look forward to playing it again if it hits the table. 5, above average. Really enjoy this game a lot. Excited to share it with other people. Think it's an above average game. And then 6, top games for us, some of our most favorite games. Having said that, it's hard not to play a ladder climbing game for me and not compare it to Teach You, the king, right? Teach You is a 6 game.
The dragon, maybe.
Right, the dragon. It's top tier, right? But I'm going to say that I really enjoyed this game a lot. I was going to say I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. I really just enjoyed the variability of every hand feeling different and being like, okay, what am I going to have to deal with this time? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to leave me these 2 cards? Okay, I'll take this one and watch me do this. Or maybe I'm going to crash and burn. I don't know. But
yeah.
Every time I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, how am I going to solve this puzzle this time? These are my choices. How am I going to make it work? And so it just kind of kept it feeling fresh for me, So for that, I mean, I just really enjoyed it. I taught it to Knox and Talia. They liked playing it, which they don't really care for card games. So I'm giving this game 5. I thought it was above average. I'm happy that I own it. If you like card games, I think it's worth at least trying it, just to see. It's not perfect, but again, I felt that the freshness of every hand just kind of kept me engaged. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Nice. Yeah. It's hard to know what to say that hasn't already been said, but I think I'm going to give this game a 4. I liked it a lot, and the reasons why are, like, I do enjoy the puzzle. I think the puzzle isn't as deep as I would like it to be all the time, right? Because there's sometimes you'll get left with a card and you're like, this doesn't affect me at all, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go with my original plan, and I get the points that I get. Minor criticism. What I think makes this game good, though, is, obviously we've all made the comparison to Teach You. Teach You's phenomenal. But I hesitate to teach you to a lot of people, right? Like my wife will not tolerate the rules to Teach You.
Right.
No matter how many times I try. And so this feels like an accessible climbing game that still has some teeth to it. That's like enough to engage somebody who has played Teach You a lot, but is not as long as Teach You, to your point, Cameron, and it's not as complex as Teach You. I mean, let's be real. Like, teaching Teach You takes at least 30 minutes.
Right.
Right? To somebody who's never played a ladder climbing game before.
And then practice hands.
And then you have to do practice hands because like
People to play teach you.
yeah, you can't like launch in even after a rules teach into a game of teach you and know what you're doing. Yeah. Like you're gonna fumble through it, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be like, wait, what does the dragon do again? Like what does the phoenix do
Why
again?
do I keep getting stuck with a 2?
Yeah.
And why do I get stuck with that person as my partner?
And so like as much as I love teach you, it's not an easy game to introduce people to, and I think this would be a good jumping point into the genre of ladder climbing for people who have only ever played standard trick takers or have not, maybe even never played cards that much at all, right? And so for that reason, I give it a 4 because I think it's got enough meat to it that it's good. It's never going to compare to teach you, but
You
I
might have
liked it.
done that reason.
No, you got to stick with your
Hold him
gut,
up.
man.
Well, I just hadn't.
Did
I
you
just
hear
hadn't
that,
thought
Andrew?
about that.
Put him
Because
down for a 4.
One of my biggest criticisms of Teachu is that I have my own copy of it and I never use it because I don't have people that are willing to sit through and let me teach you, right? And the people that I have like we've muddled through
They kinda bounce
a
off of
play
that.
and then they go like, yeah, it was fine, and I'm like, dang it. I didn't hook them, whereas something like this might actually hook them to this style of game.
Sounds like
Hook them. Haha. I'm just going to keep going with the puns over here.
I think we can all agree, though, that 6,900 on BGG is outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
This game's just forgotten. I think.
Nobody knows it. I'm telling you, if you like card games, you should try it. Okay, well, I forgot to talk about where you could find it,
Oh, yeah.
and we might just axe this part completely. So, good luck. Look on BGG.
Look on Noble Knight.
This hasn't felt that
I wanna
different
say-
from a normal review that we do, honestly.
I wanna
minus
say-
flavor text. You want me to read the
Amazon.
flavor text? I'll do it. A hot new classic climbing game.
We haven't shortened this at all. What have we done? We'll have
Those
a
are our
conversation
thoughts
about it.
on Ladder 29.
Perfect. Dead Man's Draw.
Yeah, let's do it. It's short.
Who wants to explain it? You want me to do it again? Somebody else want to do it? You got it, Bill?
I can
I
do
can't.
it. I don't know that if I remember all the abilities. I can try though.
I can help you.
Yeah,
Have
you
you,
can-
ever heard of Ink and Gold? Well, this game's kind of like Ink and
Did you
Gold.
ever want to
okay?
play Ink and Gold with powers, where you can steal your opponent's stuff and piss them off? Well, I do.
You got to do the stats though, because I'm not prepared for
Okay,
that.
yeah. All right, I'll start it. All right, Dead Man's Draw, published in 2014 by Mayday Games, Bombix, Hobby World, and many others. Any idea where this one falls?
I'm going to go just outside the top 1,000.
Man, y'all, you're on fire. BGG ranking 1,439.
Really?
Dead
Wow.
Man's Draw 1,439.
I am
Don't-
flabbergasted
Don't
by
give
that.
your thoughts away yet, Jason. All right. Designer Derek Paxton. This is his only design. Take it away, Jason.
All right, I'm
I'll
going to do my
assist
best.
you as needed.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best. This was thrown on me, or I volunteered.
You've
But-
voluntold.
But I don't know if I know everything. But good thing we're not doing a full rules teach. All right, so this game is a card game where there's a common deck of cards with a variety of suits. Each
Different suits.
10 different suits. Each card has a different nautical thing on it, like a harpoon or like one of those like helmet things that goes over your head and you like can breathe underwater, whatever that's called. And basically, it's ink and gold. For anybody who's familiar with that, you're gonna take from this central pile of cards and you're gonna start flipping cards, push your luck style. So you flip one card at a time into a line, and if you ever flip a card that you've already flipped before, you bust and you're done.
Yep.
But at any point during that process, you can stop. You can say, I've had enough. I'm going to take all the cards that are in the line and I'm going to move them in front of me. But what makes the game unique or interesting is that every time a card flips
Yep.
into that line, it has an ability, and that ability will trigger.
Yep.
Sometimes that ability is you must flip 2 more cards, right?
Kraken.
Which could lead to another you must flip 2 more cards, right? Sometimes it's steal a card from an opponent. Sometimes it's like dig through the discard pile and
Yep.
pull a card and add it to the line, which then triggers that card's ability, which can do something else, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of chaining of actions going on. Mm-hmm. But basically, you go through the entire deck when the deck runs out. And I guess I should talk about like when you take cards in front of you, they go in. They get all laid out in front of you,
Yep.
face up, and in category by suit. with the highest number on top.
Correct.
So if anybody steals from you, they have to steal the highest number, but you still have the lower number underneath it, right? They can't steal everything. And then at the end, when the whole deck runs out, you add up the points of your highest value card, I think. Right?
The highest value card in every suit, and the total sum value wins.
Yeah, see, look at that. I did
That's
it.
perfect, man.
And that's exactly how you play Dead Man's
You
Draw.
missed Davy Jones.
not complicated.
You missed the chest and the key.
Well, we
everybody
didn't
loved
go
it.
through every
Chest
single.
and the key is great.
Yeah, we didn't go through every single card.
I couldn't if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Bill, what'd you think of Dead Man's Draw?
It's a fun little game. It was very interesting. I didn't feel like, I don't know, that I was exercising the strongest part of my strategic mind while I was playing it, but it was a fun game. So,
Are those your final thoughts?
We might as well just go straight to final thoughts on this one, honestly.
I'll pass
We
it
can
to
talk
Cam.
about it a little bit.
I'll talk about Dead Man's
yeah,
Draw.
go for
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Because I've played a handful of games this year, not as many as I should have liked, but this was one of the ones that I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
a
you did
big
enjoy this.
fan of push your luck style games. I don't know if he listens to the show, but we always got to give a tip of the hat to Joe Pavlisco, who never
Yes.
ever goes back in Ink and Gold and always busts.
I've never seen him stop.
But I think they're a lot of fun. And it's always a good laugh when you're just like, no, I'm going to keep going, and then the next card that you flip is
Yeah.
is a double, and then you bust. But I think that's like, I don't know. There's something about the whole like unknown thing, the calculated risk type thing that's a lot of fun. And I think this game does a fairly good job, especially because it feels fairly low stakes of like the take that type thing. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of these abilities that when they trigger, it's like, okay, you have to look at someone else's and like blow up their stuff or
Right.
steal it from
A
them
single
and put
card.
it in yours or something like
But
that.
it's kind of like a pullback mechanism, which again in a game like this I didn't mind as much because, if I only have 2 cards and you have like 10, then it makes me feel like I have a chance. If I can
Right.
knock one of your cards off, and
Yeah.
instead of just being like, well, I'm out of this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It feels lighthearted. It's low stakes. It's not a long game. I think we played it in 10, 15 minutes or
not
something.
even.
We learned it and played it in like 15 minutes after playing a longer game. So I like stuff like that. That's like, it's easy to get to the table. It's easy to teach. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did think the cards were like fun and thematic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very much.
Like when you flip the Kraken, it makes you draw 2 more cards, which you usually don't want to do, especially
Yeah.
if your card line is long. But it's because you ran into trouble, right?
Right.
You ran into the sea monster, right? Little, what is it called? The bot that lets you explore underwater, lets you peek at the top card and decide if you want to keep going or if you want to stop, right? So these card abilities, while having a function that you can sometimes not, but oftentimes kind of use to try to get that best outcome possible, all just made sense thematically.
Yeah.
With this like underwater deep sea diving
Yeah,
and
the
trying to get
chest
treasure.
gave you like stuff out of the
That's the-
graveyard pile.
That's the funnest
like,
one. If you get the key and the chest in the same card row and you stop, you unlock the chest and it like doubles the cards that you take, which
Yeah,
is
it's
just
cool.
fun, fun to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton bad to say about this game, as long as you understand what it is. Right?
Yeah.
It's a 5 to 10 minute filler game where it's gonna be swingy as heck. Right? You think you've got like 17 cards in front of you, and then you go through like 2 rounds around the table, and you've got like 0 cards in front of you. You're like, what happened? Right? But if you can take it lighthearted like that, I mean, like, sure, it's great. Push your luck stuff, even Ink and Gold, honestly, is not my favorite game in the world. I see why it's appealing, and like I've played it with work people a ton, right? Because it's easy to introduce. People
good
just
for
kind of
big
like
groups.
love the love the push your luck stuff. Push your luck is not my thing, at least not in a game this simple. But I can appreciate it for what it is. It's a decent filler.
I did notice that this one had some like expansions that could give you like character abilities or
Yeah.
something like that, and that seems pretty interesting because I think anytime you have a game that's this simple, adding a little bit of like complexity could make it a little more interesting, make it last a little bit longer if people are into it.
They're small changes, but they can alter how you play a little bit to give you a little bit more to think about.
Guys,
Yeah.
I feel like I've softened over the year. Like, I feel like
You
would
would have doo-dooed all
like,
over this game
is crap.
in
There's
episode
so much
1.
blood.
What's happened to you? I don't even know you anymore. I need more teeth from you right now. This piece of garbage.
It's because gaming is actually just like a recreational thing now.
Yeah.
It's like the relief from like your intense work life.
Yeah.
To throw this game
true.
a bone, it does have some things you can chain together. Because like with your the harpoon and stealing with something, especially with the chest and the key. Because really, to me, I felt like that was the biggest goal of the game. Because there's a thing called Davy Jones' locker. When, like Chris just said, when you get the chest and the
discard
key.
pile.
What's that?
The discard pile.
The discard pile. You double your hand, and
huge.
which is huge. And really, there's some other cards in there that allow you to do 2 or 3 actions that might give you the ability or the highest probability of getting a chest and a key in your hand. So
Yeah.
once you played it a few times and you start realizing, oh, I could do these sort of little tricks in here, it sort of made it a little bit fun. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's got more depth than just the cards themselves. It's got some hints in it that's like, oh, I could put these things together. I don't think it's deep at all, but it's kind of fun when you have that first realization. Oh, if I do this, and I
There's a
can do this, and I
decision
can do this.
space.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
small one.
very small.
But I agree with you totally. It's there.
I mean,
it's there.
I think the thing I appreciate is like here's another push your luck game that has more of a decision space than do you stay or do you go, like Ink and Gold, right? It's like there's at least another layer here.
Well, transitioning into cons, because we need to do that. I
Yeah.
will say one thing. I'm glad we kept mentioning Ink and Gold, because the one thing I wanted to bring out about comparing this to Ink and Gold, which I think Ink and Gold is a better game than this one, is the thing about Ink and Gold is the card line is common to all players.
Yep.
So if bad luck hits, it hits everyone, right? Whereas if there's a good run, everybody's still in, is benefiting from that. This game suffers from the fact that somebody can do a really cool run and be like, oh man, that was awesome, I want to do that. And then on your second or third card, you pair and you're busted.
Yeah.
And that can happen a few times in a
Yeah,
row
where
and,
you just draw.
cannot be. That is a real possibility.
I think
in
one
this
of the
game.
games that we played was like that for me. Like every
Me too.
time it was like the second and third card were
I played with Ken and Bill.
Yeah.
I had 0 points.
Yeah.
I busted like crazy in that game and was not really pushing my luck.
Right.
It just wasn't working out.
Well, final thoughts?
Sounds good. Who wants to start? Bill started last time. He's exempt.
Oh. I think this is one of those ones that straddles the line a little bit. Like, as a filler game, I think I could give this game a 4, right? Like, as a filler game, it's a decent filler game. As a game that I'm like, do I want to play this again? It's definitely a 3. Because I'm like, I mean, I'd be totally fine if we never played it again. Right? There are other filler games that I enjoy. So I think, with that said, I think I have to land on a 3 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know that it's a good filler game is enough to like make me say I would recommend it or I would own it. So it's a 3 for me. But everything I said before holds true, right? It's
Nice.
not a bad filler game.
Nice. I guess we'll go this way. We want to end with you since you went so early last time. I'll go next. Mostly because what Jason just said kind of echoes what I said. I think this game sets out what it accomplishes, what it's setting out to do, to create funny, zany, kind of laugh out loud moments, some stand up and cheer moments, but you can also have just some, you can get nailed kind of a thing with some bad luck moments. But again, it's short, it's not a big deal. It accomplishes what it sets out to do. Okay. I can't fault it for that. But is it the kind of game that I'm looking for? Probably not. Like, if I want to play a game like this, I'll play Ink and Gold. I think it's better for the reasons I outlined in the con section, because you're just a little more protected from just really bad swings of luck, and I think it kind of does the same thing, but just a little better. But having said that, if this game was at the guy's getaway weekend and a lot of people were playing it, I'd sit down and play it. So for us, that's kind of like a 3, right? Like, I'm not dying to play it again. It's just kind of mad. But if people were playing, I would join. So for me, it's a 3.
Cool. I think I'm gonna give this one a 4, and mainly just because I don't know, like I enjoyed it, I had fun with it. I think I think that my like people that I would like host a game to play would enjoy it, or that at least I would enjoy like demoing it, kind of. I think if I thought like a ton about it, and I would land where you land in terms of Ink and Gold. I think your point is well made about the line of cards being subject for everybody. But I don't know. I just had fun with it. I liked the variability of the different cards. I do think that like it is very subject to the whole like you could just get screwed. I mean, that happened to me, but I think when a game is this short, kind of stuff just like goes out the window for me, because it's still kind of fun. And we're still sitting around a table and we're laughing and feel like high stakes. If you invest a ton in a game, like some of the other games that that we play, and you're going to spend an hour and a half, like having stuff like you could just get screwed, really hurts a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I look forward to playing it again.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Well, if you're still listening to us right now after all of this, I mean, then you're one of the ones who are really thinking about how you curate your games. And this is one of those games that is so context sensitive.
Yeah,
To like everybody here is said at the table. If you're curating for like some young teenager kids, 10 to 12 or 14, this would be an awesome game.
Totally.
Right. Or even people who are new to games. This would be right in their sweet spots. And even with some more veteran gamers, it could be fun, but it's don't expect it to carry the evening kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I enjoyed it when we played it. But for all the reasons that are said here, I don't think I would necessarily choose it. So I think we kind of rate on what we think we want to do. So I'm going to give it a 3 as well, even though I enjoyed it. And I'll say out loud, I think there are contexts where this would be way better than probably any other game that we talk about tonight, just because of who's playing it. So
Sure.
It's very much what you're curating for. So this is a fun game if you have that crowd at your house.
Oh, well said, Bill.
Great. And, good luck if you want to try to find this game. We don't know where you would find it.
Don't. But you know who has a copy right now?
Who's that?
Cameron Lockey. Give it in mine. I know you put it in your
Merry
wish
Christmas
list.
present.
I told
for
you
me.
to hold out because I wasn't sure.
You did.
I'm just going to give
Aw.
it to you.
Thanks, Chris.
Merry Christmas, dude. See, we didn't need
I hear
to
the
draw
jingle
names.
bells.
All right.
Well, those are our thoughts on what was it called?
Dead Man's
Dead
Draw.
Man's-
Best
We're
thing.
crushing it. Look at the quality. Look at how much better we are than we were before.
All right.
So we pause and
Does anyone need to have a pee break?
I'll do it just because we're so glad I have alcohol. Oh, sorry.
And we're back. We broke away there. PP breaks talking about diapers, but we're back. I'm not going to give you any context for why we were talking about that.
You
You have to
you
join our
should totally
Patreon. No. Our
In our
Patreon
Hipsters
backstage
After Dark,
episodes where we talk about diapers.
All about diapers. All right. Egizia Shifting Sands. 2 editions. The one we played, the Shifting Sand edition, was published in 2019. The original Egizia was published in 2009. Publisher of the new version, Stronghold Games. At the time of this recording, its BGG ranking is 2014. The original Egizia, 706.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Interestingly. Designers, Flaminia Brasini, Virginio Gigli, Stefano Luperto, Antonio Tinto.
A 4-team?
This is a 4-team. They design together. They always have. Some of their more noteworthy designs, Alma Mater, Leonardo da Vinci, and Terramara, which I've always wanted to try.
Lorenzo Il Magnifico too, right?
Maybe
No.
one of them. Yeah, it was that.
Flaminia Brasini.
That's, yep. So they don't always all design together, but most of the time they do. Or at least a combination of them. All right. Brief rule summary for Egizia. Egizia, the main thing to understand about Egizia is it's a rondel, but not your typical rondel, whereas most rondels are like a circle, where you just kind of keep going around a circle and you can jump as far ahead as you want. This one, it's a line, okay? Specifically the river, okay? So you start at the top of the river, and like most rondel games, you can jump as far down the river as you want, okay? Take that thing that you want. But if you do that, everything that you bypassed is no longer accessible to you for that round. Okay, you cannot go backwards. Your next card that you take has to be further downstream from the boat that you just placed.
If you're feeling that's painful, then that's right.
Then
That's
it is.
very painful.
And we're talking my language. Did somebody say tension? Yes, please. Loads of it in this game. So as you're moving your boat downstream, there are cards on one side of the river that you can pick up. There are tiles on the other side of the river. And then intermixed amongst those tiles, there's also these little ports where you can dock. And these are victory point scoring areas. I would be remiss if I didn't just briefly mention the broad categories of things that you're trying to collect in this game. Okay, so one of the things is food. Okay, so there's wheat cards that you can pick up to generate food to feed your people. You have 4 different workers of varying powers. That's another thing that you can do is you stop down the river, is power up your workers, because you need your workers to be powered up to build in the monuments to score points. That's another thing that you have to worry about picking up, is picking up cards to generate your stone income so that you have the materials to build said monuments. And then, like I said, there are 3 spots you can stop along the river. One of them lets you work on 2 different structures that scores victory points in kind of different ways and gives you different benefits. The next stop, again, 2 different structures that allow you to score points in different ways and give you certain different benefits. And then the very last stop, which is worth mentioning, is the Sphinx spot, which are cards that you draw. And these cards have personal, private goals, in-game scoring conditions, which is like have 5 bricks in the pyramid, which is one of the point scoring structures, or have completely built the colonnade, which is another one of the structures. I'm not going to get into all the details of how each one of these structures score and whatnot. I think that really kind of is the main idea. Basically, you can jump ahead as far as you want. You can't go backwards, and you're trying to balance the food versus getting the stone to build the structures, but then you have to level the people up to build the structures. But if you're leveling the people up and you're not getting the food and you can't feed them, you're going to get penalized. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that kind of drives home where the tension, a lot of it exists in this game. And that's generally how you play Egizia, very generally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right. Let's just start talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think, our typical format for this is that we would like kind of hone in on like what do we think is the thing that's unique about this game. I think the thing that is particularly unique is the form that this like rondel takes, and the whole like how far do you skip ahead to get the thing that you want, except for that you're bypassing stuff upstream. Because I felt like a lot of times what was happening for us is that there'd be these cards that you could like, some of the stops you could just go there and just take the card, right? And you would have this tension of like, okay, well, do I want to take that card so that no one else takes that card? Or do I need to jump ahead to one of these building spots so that I could get in on like scoring some points?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because to be clear, there's not enough spaces for everybody.
You're limited, right?
That's a key point, yeah.
3 out of the 4 are going to be able to score in any given location. You might be the one that gets out if you're too greedy to like pick up all of the stuff upstream. And that was an interesting point of tension, because you're doing this thing where you're trying to build out kind of your, I guess it's your economy, your what do you call that? Like your machine, right?
Yeah. Your engine.
Your engine, because you need the like income and the stone income to be sort of automatic so that you're not having to generate that stuff like on the fly every turn.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable to me what they were able to do with a deck of like, I mean, the game is essentially a deck of like 50 cards, right?
Yep.
And the order in which those cards come out down the river
radically changes it.
Drastically changes every round.
Totally.
Like, every game will be completely different simply because those cards come out in a different order. Like that card that you counted on last game because it was really awesome and you snagged it first because it was at the top of the river and you were first player that round, like might be at the very bottom of the river, and there might be other stuff that you need before that.
Or may not even come out.
Or might not even come out.
Because rounds
right?
1 and 2 are one deck, rounds 3 and 4 are one
That's
deck,
right.
and then round 5 is a deck. Yeah. So you can't even count on a card coming out in a certain round because it might come out the next one.
Yeah. And that combined with, I'm not going to go into all the details of like the worker powers and all that stuff, but like there's a really cool kind of like mini game you're playing with these workers and the way that they combine together. and you can only bump them up individually, and there's only certain spots that are also interspersed with all these cards that let you bump them up. There's just a lot of, like, this game is like the definition of tension. And it's great.
100%.
It absolutely is. And I have lived my life in this whole FOMO mode that I'm going to fear missing out. And when I see somebody go ahead of me and take a card, I'm like, oh, gosh darn it, they took that card that I wanted. Or that when I go forward and they take something behind me, it's like, oh, my God, I was an idiot. Why didn't I stop and get that card? I mean, that's the way I feel the whole game, all the way through, that I made a wrong decision because somebody else did something else. But it's fascinating because you feel like there's a strategy that you can be executing on every one of your moves. You're thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I have no idea if it's going to work out or not, but I mean, at least I feel like I have a direction, sorts of things. And it is a game that can also evolve, or depending on what somebody else is doing, or there's different objective cards that come out on the table from statues that you need to complete. Or there's some that are specific to games that you play that actually will change your overall strategy completely between the games that you play.
100%.
That makes the difference between winning and losing of you leveraging what they allow you to do.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about the little like things in the colonnade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you want to talk about the specifics of the game?
Yeah, you can mention it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first game we played, one of the things in the colonnade allowed you to take an extra turn, right?
To be clear, the colonnade is like, it's kind of like a race. You start on one side, you move to the other side. First person to get to the other side with their bricks, like building across.
They do,
gets
but
extra points, but at certain points you unlock abilities.
Exactly. Like in the third and fifth place, you get something extra you can do.
Yeah.
So in that one where you get to do something extra, that's a pretty powerful thing to do, because if you can take kind of 2 turns in a row, that's pretty awesome. And the second game that we played, there was one that said you get 2 extra food for every food card that you have.
Every field.
Every field that you have. And the second card happened to be you can jump on one of a square that somebody else has jumped on, because normally the rule is if somebody's there, you can't go there at all. And you have to feed your workers. And that can be really painful for you if you can't, because it costs you a lot of money. And there's another place that has a green, yellow, and red area that talks about the amount. How do I describe that?
It's
all
like
right.
What types of fields are productive?
So fields come in 3 different colors, and the red fields tend to be deliver more yield. But if this ring is not set to the red field, it won't produce anything. Whereas the green fields will always produce. The yellow fields may or may not, because it's in the center thing. So they're kind of high risk, high reward fields. These red fields can yield a lot, but other players may land on places that pull the ring down so that you don't get that benefit from the red fields if they're not invested in red fields.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Another point of tension.
Another point of tension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if I had 5 red cards and Chris only has green cards, he would absolutely set it to green.
Yeah.
Well, this extra little ability allowed you to land on the same spot, so at the very end you could reset that back up to red. So all of a sudden, those field cards counted a lot, and you could make a lot of points out of it. So this is one of those things that you kind of had to pick up on in that specific game to hit on. Anyway, to me, there's just lots of things to pay attention to in this game.
Yeah, it's a nice part of the variable setup that those little things kind of change how you would approach each game differently. Not to mention what Jason mentioned about how the order of the cards comes out.
Yeah.
I think I would just very simply say, kind of summarizing what everybody said, that and try to distill it down into this idea of this game just rips you to shreds with tension.
Yeah.
Because
And yet not in a complicated way.
No.
There's nothing complicated about it.
no. And that's what I'm going to try to lay out here is I'd be like, okay, I've got fields. I can feed my people, and okay, now I'm going to power them up because I can feed them, and I can power them up to build these things. Then I get in around 3, and I'm like, my stone production is at 3.
Yeah.
So I've spent this time feeding them and powering them up, but now I can't do anything because I didn't focus on stone, right?
Yeah.
So you're like trying to juggle.
It's one of these games that doesn't let you like leave anything off, right? Some games you can like kind of ignore certain elements and be like, I'm not going to get into that, and I'm just going to focus on these things. This game doesn't let you do that.
You have to focus on all of them, and what it causes is, let's say we follow that same scenario where my people are well fed and I'm really powerful, but I have no stone. And then in round 3, there's a stone production card that's like 2/3 of the way down the river. Now I'm like,
do I give up half the round?
Dang it.
Yeah.
Because I could try to hang back and grab a card or two, but if somebody jumps ahead, now I'm even more behind.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's cool about this game. Jumping 2/3 of the way down and grabbing that card might not be a bad play.
Right.
And that's where you really, man, that's where this game is awesome. Is when you jump way far down, bypassing a lot of stuff and leaving it for everybody else and being like, okay, enjoy all this cool stuff I just jumped over. But it's still helping me. And then I can just try to pick up things after it, right, and still make it work. Just brilliant, in my opinion.
And one of the other incentives for that is when you get to the end and you take the Phoenix, which is the very last port on the board.
Or the Sphinx spot.
The Sphinx spot. You draw cards that are other cards that are point cards. That, what am I trying to say? They're incentives to do complete other objectives. They're objective cards to
They give you direction during the game to work on certain things to score points at the end of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
personal goals.
Right. So it's an evolving sort of goals as you're playing each individual round, so it's never completely static.
Oh, I love that part too. Yeah.
Exactly.
The Sphinx cards I really enjoy. It's just fun to score points at the end of the game, but they just give you direction, right? Now again,
Which sometimes you should follow and sometimes you should not.
making it work out.
Bong.
Bong. Bill's back.
What can I say?
Called it.
Yes.
No, we've been doing it at least once. Sorry, what were you saying, Jason?
Yeah, I was saying sometimes those cards you should follow and sometimes you shouldn't. Like, I think this leans into one of my cons for the game. But, like, you start off with one of those, right? And I got one that was like, build all the statues. And I was like, all right, that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to do. And I wasted so much time in the game, like, trying to pursue that goal when I should have just given it up.
Yeah.
I should have just said, this isn't worth it.
And they don't hurt you.
I'm going to focus on something. Yeah, they don't hurt you, but they can derail you if you get too attached to them. And I guess that to the con, because that's not really a con, that's just like a personal choice that I did
being
badly.
stupid.
The con would be that space where you draw cards from, I think can sometimes be like, well, you just hit it right.
Well, at the end of the game, for sure.
Like
you can
I've
top
already
deck something you've already done.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that part is like, meh. It's not a super huge criticism, but I think that part was a little distasteful every once in a while. I was like, oh, okay, well, you just drew a card that like you've already accomplished, basically.
Or it could be a strategy is you like try to draw 5 of those cards every time, and then pull out the best ones.
You definitely have control, right?
Yeah.
You can draw more cards by going there earlier and having more stone to be able
Paying
to
more,
dedicate
yeah.
towards it, right? So it's definitely mitigated in some ways. So take that for what you will. But what else did you guys? Anything that stood out to you that was like, eh?
I don't know. I think I had a little bit of the feeling with the. I think maybe it was the thing you were talking about, Bill, of like someone else being, or there was the thing that gives you an additional action, or lets you do something else upstream. I think, and there were a couple times where it was like we were moving the food ring between the green and the yellow and the red fields, and like someone would like put forth a lot of expense and effort to like move it to change it, and they would bypass stuff to make that happen, and then someone else would be like, oh, I'm just gonna use my thing and just like move it back.
Oh, you're talking about Baglio. Yeah.
Well, I am talking about Baglio.
Yeah.
And he is listening, and I do still feel a little spicy
Baglio
about
knew
that.
he could win. He was just being a total chaos agent and trying to wreck everybody's field
But
production
I
in that
think
game.
sometimes those types of things can be really frustrating when you take an action that is expensive to you, and someone else can just casually just be like, oh, I'm just going to undo that in the same round. Like that kind of stuff, allowing for that is like kind of annoying.
So, I mean, this part to me feels like, do I have any, criticisms or thoughts about the design? And this game is seemingly, to me, designed so tight. And has so many complicated things in it that work so well together.
Yep.
That anything I say feels like I would be quibbling about that design. And it's like, I just don't feel like I'm equipped to do that because it is so good. So, and it would feel like quibbling.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's why I'm not saying anything.
right. Because, I mean,
The only thing was what Jason said about the top decking, and that's kind of minor. Yeah.
I mean, you have to have randomness in a game,
Sure,
sort of
yeah.
thing. So it's like, again, it feels like it's a quibble category to me. So, I don't feel like I can really honestly say that there would be anything that I would come forward on this game about.
Interesting. Final thoughts then?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Who should start?
You go for it.
Me? Really?
Cameron?
You want me to start?
I'll go for it. I probably have the most underwhelming thoughts on this game from a strategic and high level thinking standpoint. So normally this type of game is like kind of at the upper end of the how much do I want to actually engage my brain while having fun type of thing. And I have to say I really did enjoy this game. It was a lot to think about, and I normally get fairly overwhelmed in point salad games. Like I start like listening to the rules explanation, and I start thinking like, oh, this is point salad. Oh God, what am I in for?
Well, if I might just quickly interject, you may not remember this, but when we played it together the first time you did, and after the first round, I remember specifically you stopped and you were like, oh, okay.
Like I get it.
I see what's going on here. You know what I mean? It just took a round.
Yeah,
you know?
and I actually did. I think I said like, okay, I've grokked this game. Like I get it now, and I appreciated that because that doesn't always happen. I'm looking at ameitis right now, and I'm going like, I never want to do that again. And I didn't feel like that in Agizia. Like I actually, in talking about it tonight, I was kind of like, yeah, I totally would play that game. Because you guys, I think, texted the other night and were like, anyone want to play Agizia tonight? And I was like, I'm hanging out with my wife and not doing that. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I did have fun.
Yeah.
And it was good. So from a final thought standpoint, I mean, easily a 4. Maybe with more plays higher than that. Because I do think that it does come across as one of those games that's like so tightly designed, and very little criticized, really.
Yeah.
Like I think I agree with you when Bill talking about like any real criticisms that we've brought up kind of feel a little bit like quibbling, like I didn't like the thing that Baglio did multiple times, but it does feel like a weak sort of criticism. So easy 4.
Nice. You want me to go next or
Sure.
next? This is a nearly perfect game. This game is incredible. It really is. If you've been a long time listener, you know how I love tension in this game. As I've said before, it just oozes tension. These designers just really nailed down. They captured the feeling of wanting to drag you down the river. You know what I mean? You're constantly wanting to jump farther than you feel like you should. And that means they got it right.
Every card is great.
Correct. Because if you were playing this game and you're like, yeah, I think I'll just hang back. And you can do that. And a lot of people were doing that, kind of like hoovering up everything was left around. That's a strategy. But every time I feel this game out, just constantly like, but if I don't go there, somebody's going to take it before me. And that's great.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention, we didn't mention in the review, I'll just mention real quickly here. The point scoring docks, the 3 docks, they're the main way you score points in the game, but they also have this thing called a cooperation bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Where if you participate in all of them, you get like a good point bonus. Or if you do in 2, you score points too. That also drags you down the river. Because as Jason said, there's always one less spot than the number of players. So you're like, man, maybe I should take this card, but if I don't, maybe I'm not going to be able to dock. And so it's just dragging you down the river.
And we'll get the cooperation bonus.
Kicking and screaming. And I love it.
But there's also certain spots where like you only have 5 rounds. And it limits you to only doing like one thing in that spot per round. And so like if you're trying to go for a goal, you have to go there.
You have to land there.
Like
you have to be sure it
3
happens.
out of the 5 rounds or something, right?
And it's a tension against, do I need to score points or do I need to build my engine? Because when you're docking, is generally you're making points, and when you're doing anything else, you're building your engine.
Yeah.
So both of those things is like, okay, is this the time that I do this,
To start
or am I
scoring.
sacrificing something for something later?
Yeah.
So it's
Do I bypass this stone generation card to start scoring, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'll stop there. This game is a 6 for me. This game is awesome. This game is definitely somewhere in like my top 25. I haven't thought about where it would land, but it has to be. Like, I think about this game all the time. I'm always wanting to play it. I just think it's
Snuggles
incredible.
up with it at night in bed.
Yeah. Yes. Just such a good game. And when we played it with Bill and Ken the other night, like Bill was talking about in his thoughts, Bill and Ken just saw like a cool strategy that I totally missed, and it decided the game for them, and it was awesome. Like I was like, wow, this game just keeps delivering. You know what I mean? We had thought, I'm sorry I'm going a little long, but I'm gushing. We had talked about, we thought like going heavy wheat strategy was weak because you can turn in 3 wheat for a point, which seems kind of throwaway. They won the game because of that.
Wow.
So it's not throwaway.
Red cards and stuff.
You can absolutely win that way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, just great. Awesome.
Nice. That's kind of where I thought you were going with that. I have an interesting perspective on this game because I have played the older version of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually on Yukata. That's what I played this game years and years ago and was like, oh, that's kind of a cool game. But had never played the Shifting Sands version. I highly, highly recommend the Shifting Sands version.
Okay.
It's interesting to me that the older version is much lower, higher, however you think
Closer
about
to
it.
1.
Closer to 1 on the BGG list. It's probably because it's been around 10 years longer.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the quality of this game, right? That even the less dynamic version of it is still in the top 1,000 games.
Yeah.
Right. But this game is an easy 6 for me too.
Oh,
honestly,
nice.
like this game is phenomenal.
Yeah, dude.
But I will say, definitely get the Shifting Sands version. Some
Yeah.
of that variability that Bill was talking about with like the special abilities that you unlock in the colonnade that doesn't exist in the first
Right.
version. The first version, the things that you do when you dock,
It's more static.
is a lot more static. And the river, it's all the same, right? The cards are pretty much the same, but definitely recommend the Shifting Sands version. I'm not going to talk about this game in depth, but like we played a game called Shackleton Base recently for the first time, which is,
We did.
we're not going to review it right now, maybe later. But I think this game played in comparison with that. It was just like the amount of variability and strategy and tension that they pulled together out of 50 cards being put in a different order versus the 45, 50-minute long rules teach of something like Shackleton Base. It's just like there's no contest, right? Like I would play Gizia every day over that game, right?
Yeah, same.
Doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Sure.
I'm not saying that. We haven't played it enough to say that definitively.
Shackleton base.
Shackleton Base.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just fascinating to me that you can take a design that's basically let's order these cards in a different order for 5 rounds and come up with something as like dynamic and tension filled as this game. So, and I had kind of forgotten about it, honestly. And when we came back to it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember liking that. And the Shifting Sands version just elevates it to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, whatever I was concerned about when I played the original one, it's gone because
Wow.
they fixed it. And
Totally agree.
it's great.
If all the food cards are at the top of the river in round 1 versus at the bottom, it completely changes the game. 100%. Awesome.
So
Absolutely.
fun.
So I'm in a strange mental place in this game. I watched a YouTube video talking about the most perfect movie ever made, and I may not mention it. Maybe we'll bring it up next game, but I want to plant the seed to think about what you guys think are the most perfect movie ever made. And I feel like I've had a growth moment because you guys gave me a really hard time, or at least not a hard time, but comment on the fact that I haven't given a game a 6 since I've really been on here, other than kind of being pressured to do it. And part of it was
Come on, we didn't push you that.
well, some, but I mean, it's like, I don't,
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but I mean, it's like, I need to have room for what that really looks like. And part of it was I wasn't 100% sure what that necessarily looked like for me. And this one is so well done on so many different levels, and I feel like I have to give it a 6 because
Oh my goodness.
it is.
Wow.
Gizia is a beast.
Coming
It
back
is.
after a year with
Yeah, I know.
fireworks.
I
It
know.
is.
Yeah.
There's so many subtle different things that it does. The stress of jumping up the river, like Chris has just been talking about so much, about picking things and what you're going to avoid, and again, my personality flaws, I guess, of FOMOing all the way through to stressing out. But even just is it the Sphinx at the end? Choosing new objective cards all the way through the game
Totally.
that is always kind of redirecting you a little bit. Where
If you miss that, you feel like you've missed out.
They reordered that too. Like that is the first space in the old game.
Oh, way
which
better.
changes
at the end.
it a lot, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's a lot easier to do the stuff at the top before people have jumped further down.
Right.
Yeah.
And like for some games, I'm like, okay, I'm going to miss this a couple times and let somebody else get it to pick up some of the candy, maybe.
Yep.
But then I might try to get 4 or 5 of them and say, okay, what have I already done that fills in the cracks that I have? And so there's a lot of strategies around doing that. But what's cool about it is you can say, okay, I'm going to abandon that one that says, let me fill out all the statues because I'm really not going to get there. But here's something that I can get. So yeah, I mean, there's so many things about this that are good. What is so funny to me is thinking about just the simple things like bumping up your workers. I still feel like this is a total waste of time because the cards that they give you feel like they're so much more powerful, but empowering your workers is important.
You get to the end of the game and your workers are still weak. You can't afford to score any points because
Yeah.
all of the low point scoring things have been built.
Right.
And now you're
Yeah.
screwed. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Here's an example. There's a card in there that allows you to take -5 from your points, and if you're in the last place, then you're the first person who gets to go and choose on the river, which can be huge. It can be huge all the way through. And there were some cards out there that says add 4 points or add 5 points to your workers. And so I was kind of light on my workers all the way through, but I had first choice on those cards.
Yeah.
So I was able to snipe those cards from other people that made a world of difference at the end of the game. That I was allowed me to build just lots of things at the end that allowed me to jump 20, 30 points at the end,
Yeah.
which ended up being huge.
Yep.
So there's so many different strategies to get you there, and
Totally
it is
agree.
there's so many things that make it look and feel tight while you're playing it that it just makes it an awesome game. So anyway,
Man,
I'll give it a 6.
we just absolutely brought it, didn't we? With this collection of games, you didn't know you were getting an episode, and you didn't know you were going to get an episode that had 3 people giving a game a 6.
That doesn't
It's been
happen.
a long time since that's happened.
That was not planned. I didn't intentionally pick this game out for this reintroduction episode.
I
I was
had no idea I was going to say that.
I did not.
No, not at all.
Although I wondered about Jason based. 'Cause I can usually tell when Jason's really digging a game, but I was not sure for you for sure. But I was just like, I haven't played this game yet, and I heard it was cool years ago. Nobody talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, this game is a gem. People, just play it. Gotta try it. Shifting Sands for sure. I agree with Jason.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck finding it. It's probably out there. I'm gonna keep making that joke this episode. Man, how do we wrap up this whole shindig? It's been so long. I will say
Merry Christmas,
Yeah, I'll
everybody.
say this. Merry
Christmas.
Christmas to everybody. We have to say, like, we've been making this show, I guess, for 4 years and a couple of episodes. We have to say it's hard to say for 5 years. But we started this podcast in 2021, right?
I think so.
Something like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
January of 2021. So we're almost into our like official like 5th year of doing this, and we've just really felt the support, and we've really felt the love. I think there are people like still paying on our Patreon, which thank you guys. You don't have to do that. We took
Yeah,
a long
they
time
probably
off.
just
We
forgot.
kind of expected that everyone would just like drop their support. This isn't a pitch for that. I mean, if you want to, jump back in there, we're going to try to come up with some sustainable way to bring, our patrons content on Backstage, because we just like doing that those types of episodes. And we still have a lot of lists of games to talk through.
That's true.
So we'll probably get back to that as well at some point. But more than that, just thank you guys for just like caring about this show
Yeah,
and
for sure.
enjoying it with us. It's been a fun thing for us to do. And as we've said before, we don't have any ambitions for this other than we like making a show and we like talking about games. It's fun. It gives us a good reason to get together as friends and play games. And we hope that it inspires you guys to get together with your friends and play games, because it's more fun than just staring at screens, right? So it's always good when we can do that instead of stare at screens. Merry
at cardboard
Christmas to
instead.
everybody. Yeah, that's right. Stare at stuff on your tabletop.
Well said, Cameron.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Merry Christmas to you guys. We love you. We appreciate you.
Merry Christmas. Give us a big Merry Christmas, Bill.
Merry Merry Christmas.
There we go.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We're signing off. This is Hidden Gems, Christmas 2025. I'm your host, Cameron.
It's Chris.
I'm Jason.
This is Bill.
Thanks for listening.
Till next time.
This episode of Hidden Gems, number 74, was recorded in Raleigh, North Carolina on December 18, 2025. Hidden Gems is produced and edited by Chris Alley, Cameron Lockey, Jason Yanchuleff, and Bill Arney. Our Board Game Geek Guild is monitored and managed by honorary Hidden Gems team member Ghidorah. Our Discord channel is monitored and managed by honorary Hidden Gems team member Snoozefest. Our show's logo was illustrated by designer and artist Caitlin Nieto. Check out her work on Instagram at It's Caitlin Nieto. We would love to hear from you. Feel free to join the discussion on our Discord channel or on our Board Game Geek Guild at BoardGameGeek.com, guild number 3874. Once again, thank you for joining us on Hidden Gems, and until next time, fellow gem seekers, enjoy your games and enjoy your search.